Yes, people, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another Blue Morning Show slash a transfer show. Today, quite a lot lined up to talk about, even if it's a few, a lot does come again. A lot does come from those in the chart. More importantly, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you. But again, Blue Morning because in fact it is the Blue Morning Show. So today, again, I will talk about how Chelsea went from 0 to 100. Again, talk about the pursuit of Enzo Fernandez. So much smoke that is hard not to talk about, that it's hard not to believe that really something is happening. And indeed, it is clear something is happening. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. Yes, people, again, if you're watching, go get your coffee. It is the Blue Morning Show. I know it's close to afternoon, noon in some places, also noon in some places also, but this is the Blue Morning Show. So go get your coffee, sit back, relax, and let's talk about the transfer news on other important news at Chelsea Football Club. Just 1 second, let me share something here. All right. Oh, 1 sec. Right, we'll get into it. But first, as usual, it is an interactive show. I get to see what's in the chat. Say hello to the people there already. It's picking up quickly again, quicker than ever. If you're watching, if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, let's try to get to 100, 100 likes today again. And congratulations to us all. We made it to 7,000 subscribers, and now we're at 7,030 subscribers, and that's not easy. So thank you for all the support. As usual, the captain of the house is the first to be here. Liam Lane, he says, Blue Morning, Kachila, panel and chat, Blue Morning. You too. Please, yes, the likes are important. Again, keep liking the video. The more you like the video, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered, and the stream will be pushed to more people who would be interested in the particular topic that we have, and the topic that we have lined up, because it's not a singular topic this time. Let's see. Big up coach and chat, Wally Waldo. It will be difficult for me to stop saying Wally whenever I talk. I call your name, but I hope you're doing well. Big up, guys. Smash the like button, says my brother Bobby. Yes, keep liking the video. We're at 14 likes already. But yeah, again, we're capable of doing better than that. What's the news on Enzo? Because I've heard Chelsea have activated his release clause. I haven't seen that one myself. If you've done so, please do share the link with me so that we can talk about it. But there's quite a lot out there. A bit, you can say, conflicting mixed news. Some are saying it's done. Some are saying again, Benfica and willing to sell in January. But the truth remains, those that were saying that Benfica are not willing to sell in January were all yesterday. The recent development is that Chelsea are talking directly to them, negotiating. The player has said yes to Chelsea. Some are saying that again, he's agreed personal terms with Chelsea, and like the Undertaker CFC here saying personal terms has been have been agreed, and he wants to come to Chelsea. Yes, I heard that too, but we'll still talk about that. I am shocked. I am shocked to again talk about 0 to 100. It looks like again. I don't think they just started talking about speaking with Enzo's camp or Benfica just a week ago or two. I think they've started talking with them for a while. I think the new ownership, they're very good at again working, doing a lot of groundwork under the radar, and I think we're seeing that right now. And I am elated, really. Christopher Vivell already moving mad. One of the things that's happening right now that shows Christopher Vivell he's doing his job is the fact that we're hearing that N'Golo Kante wants to stay at Chelsea and that the club are making progress in the effort to keep him at the club. I think Christopher must have spoken to Bally and Co because he understands football very well and let him know this is the type of guy, if you have him at your club, you don't let him go. He's an exemplary professional. Even if you can get 20, 25 games from him, it can help you do well, do better than, again, you would have done without him in a season. So that's probably why Chelsea have decided, you know what, we got to find a way to keep this guy. So Tobago, I'm going to search you again. How are you doing, brother? Tiboho.
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Fine, thank you, bro. I can't complain. Did I pronounce it correctly? Tiboho.
Teboho, but it's much better now.
Okay, Teboho. It's getting better by the day.
Yes, 100%, Teboho.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I'm glad. What brother was that says I was pronouncing it correct? I wasn't pronouncing it correctly in the chat.
I forgot this name when they shared.
Yeah, and you're just being nice for like a million years. You didn't even say, you guys are saying my name. They're not saying my name correctly. I would have said something really. I don't keep quiet and such, but not in a bad way. I'll let you know this is how you pronounce it. If you want to pronounce it correctly, it is 2 syllables or so. This is how you pronounce it. But Teboho, I like it. Teboho, it will get better by the day. Apologies if I'm butchering it. But that's, by the way, let's get straight into the show and start with the first, again, the structured topic here. And that's not the first one I want us to talk. Is there another one here? Yeah, this one, again, Brazilian midfielder Andre Santos will arrive in London today. That was yesterday, to undergo medical test and then sign a long-term contract with Chelsea, 12.5 million euros. I think this is a lower fee than the rumored fee. The rumors a few days ago was that the total will come to around 17 to 24 million, maybe plus add-ons. It goes bigger than this. I don't know. 12.5 million euros. A deal has been signed with Vasco da Gama. No loan back to Vasco da Gama at the moment. He's staying, and then decision will be made. I think everything comes down to whether he's able to get work permit to work in the in the UK or not. But to me, again, we'll keep our eyes open to see if he's completed his medical or if there's an official announcement from the club. Please, if you're in the chat, do let us know whenever that happens. We really do want to know it. Again, I'm excited about this one. And please keep dropping the likes on the stream if you're just joining. So go ahead, Tobago, your thoughts on this one. I know we didn't talk about it yesterday, somehow I missed it. Did you hear anything? Did you hear he's completed his medicals? But again, where does he fit? What position does he play really? Again, because there's no clarity really where we're going to deploy him.
Yeah, at the moment he's playing that role as you said, like a grandfather, a typical midfielder that likes to do everything, move around, defend, attack, and do everything. So overall, I'm happy with this scouting. hopefully it can be a successful at Chelsea. But again, coach, I just want to mention something like for the first time after so long, this is so refreshing. Like Chelsea are trying to make deals quicker before the window opens so that they can come into the team. I like that. We should do that more because like we are bringing a lot of teams away. Look at Liverpool now. They just got Gakpo within a second. So I think this is amazing thing that we are seeing at the moment because like on the previous windows we linked to sort of Lukaku for whole month or 2 months and stuff. So now it shows we're having a direction which I love at the moment.
Here's the thing. I wouldn't say we're blowing Man City and Manchester, Liverpool, and Manchester United out again. We're blowing them away. No, I don't think so. I think that the issue they have is that they've spent quite a lot. So again, they'd be cautious on how much they spend, and which we talked about yesterday. I said it would be difficult for them to pay that money and be fine with FFP, given how much they've spent of late. But for us, we're able to, yes, we're blowing them out, like you said, but that is because the new owners have a leeway as to how much they have to spend, which counts as investment. So we're not going to get into trouble, but we could still get into trouble if we're not cautious. There's how much we'd spend, then we'd be looking to again ship out some players and again balance the book with whatever we make up from the sales of the players. But your argument makes sense. Yes, we're blowing them out of the water because they can't compete right now, given how much they spent already. But it's not necessarily because they don't have the money. But good argument from you. I have to say, just quickly, let me do something here. I'll come back to you in a bit. I'll catch up with what we have in the chat because those, again, that's very, very important. The interactivity, the nature of the show is what makes it very special. So now let's see what else we have here. Just give me one second. Okay, catching up with what we have in the chat. I've read this one. Talksport was on about the Chelsea paying his release clause earlier. Okay, now I see. But again, I think the structure is what the difference is. We're even agreeing to pay more, but we're not going to pay it at the same time. It will be structured again, paying bit by bit, which will also help us not to get into trouble with the FFP rules. So it makes sense. This is a movement, a 7K subs in short time. Abi Almorgun, thank you so much, my Niger brother. We appreciate that. It's a movement indeed. We've grown from a channel to a community. Again, that makes me very happy, and I'm sure it makes you very happy too. Just 1 second. Somebody wants me to send them the link. I'll send it in a bit. Romano had a new update on an hour ago. That's the latest news on to go on. Yeah, I think I have that open, but I wanted us to talk about everything that's been said. Some of them that turned out to be nonsense. Some, again, a bit aligned with the latest news. It's been 15 to 20 minutes with ads on. With ads on, you're talking about the show ads showing consistently for 15 to 20 minutes. Is that what you're saying? I'm not sure.
No. Think about Andre Santos deal.
15 to 20 million with add-ons. Oh, that's what it's saying. Okay. It's between. Okay. Apologies. Hello, everyone. Hello to you to Escape Me Tracks. I hope you're doing well. Liam Lane says Santos with add-ons will come to 25 to 23.5 million euros, not even pounds. So a lot of mixed up information out there. I am online. Can you send the link in a bit? I will do that. Share. Okay. Here it says again 120 million for euros for Enzo, so overpriced. Like Glenn said yesterday, we're paying World Cup tax. I think he's a good player, but I still think that's too much. Hopefully he'll be able again. That won't be an added pressure on him, given that he's still very young. Maybe he's that type of confident player that no matter the price you pay for him, that will never be an issue. Enzo is expensive again, but we need a player like that. Again, but I'm going to say also, again, Chelsea till I die, I'm going to say his output in terms of chance creation isn't anything exceptional, but maybe that improves if he joins us because everything, how a player plays, comes down to how the demands from a manager. For instance, again, if you look at João Felix, how He's not been a bad player for Atletico, but we all know what he's capable of doing. You see the difference between how he plays for Portugal and how he plays for Atletico. And again, you'd realize he should be doing better than again he's done for Atletico Madrid. But that's down to how again the negative football that Diego Simeone likes to play. But that's by the way, Enzo will probably have a contract of maybe 6 years breakdown his cost over those years. And if he plays as well as we hope, it will be a good deal. I think it will be a good deal. Like I said, hopefully um, the price tag, again, doesn't become an added pressure on him. No, I mean, for Andre Santos. Okay, thank you very much, bro. Again, I was confused, but I appreciate you explaining. Chelsea signed him fast before Liverpool hijacked the deal. I'm still waiting for your ID, Namaya Fawole. Benfica told everyone that they are willing to sell him, but not under his release clause. Yeah, apparently they said that if he's going to leave in January, you'd have to trigger his release clause. Otherwise, they want to keep him for long and even trying to get him to sign another contract. Frank Urbanez says
That again,
120
coach.
million. Yeah, go ahead.
Don't you think Benfica might crumble because like they know like they might get a huge fee for him, and then that's a 100% commission on him. They can also pay that his previous club River Plate that money they owe them and stuff. So I
Hmm.
think they might crumble. If this takes a long time, they might crumble because maybe Enzo might put pressure on them. So I think, to be honest, we have a 50% chance or 60% chance to get him because like this man is big, man. So they have to accept it. But again, if they are not desperate, they'll wait for a bidding war in the summer, which I don't like at the moment. I hate bidding wars because
Yeah,
we never won them.
yeah. I think lots of those clubs have spent quite a lot of money in the market. Only a few clubs haven't spent that much money. So that's why you won't see again. We will not see a bidding war. And there's also again, if you want to say something, there's so much smoke. I would say the possibility of us signing him is again around 70% right now. It's gone beyond 50% really. So much smoke, and I don't think we'll miss out on him. But let's see what happens. Enzo is worth again of paying for, as there is no midfield in Chelsea right now. There are cheaper alternatives really. If we're planning to play him deep, then we should be looking at Benessa. We should be looking at Amrabat. We should be looking at the American international. But it looks like we're signing him as an attacking option closer to the final third because he's good at creating chances. And there's a chance his output improves at Chelsea Football Club. But let's see what happens. So nothing yet from Andrea Santos. We'll pay attention to when he's done his medical and when Chelsea again officially announces his arrival to the club. And please, if you're following, I'm hearing that again that that's a press conference today. I have a lot going on, so I'm not really paying attention with the programs of the club. If that's the case, again, if you're following it, it will be 1 o'clock UK time, which means an hour sooner. So if you're following it, if we see any update, please let us know. I will also be seeing stuff on my update screen, so maybe I will not miss anything too. Yeah, good one there. And again, Abe Omo Ogun says again, okay, Graham Potter has 5 years, but how long do you think the owners will actually give him and be patient? I will just spend over 200 million in the summer, and now here's the thing. I think the whole thing comes down. How long he stays at Chelsea comes down to how well he does. Um, but this whole season, I don't think anything happens to him. I think we do well enough for them to say, maybe he's still again getting teams together. He's still getting to understand the players. Some players are leaving. We're signing new players. They need time to gel. So let's give him one more season. And again, the whole thing, again, like I said, the whole thing comes down to how well he does. And that's when the club decide, okay, what do we do now? We have enough sample to judge him. And we have Christopher Vivell now, who, if he speaks and says, this isn't going to the right direction, we need to change something, they will listen to him because he understands football quite well. Clubs say a lot of things, but when it comes down to actual negotiating, they always end up with a direct deal. Yep, I think Bali has proven to be a shrewd negotiator, and also he gets a good deal. Look at how he got Nkunku. The release clause, but we're not paying in bulk. It's still being paid as a structured payments. We're still going to pay them in beats. So that makes a perfect sense. We move on from that one. I'll bring you in. I'll bring you in soon. Sorry. Emmanuel. Do I have two of these? Okay, I think I had two of them. That one, this, we've talked about this, and this one here. So let's talk about the Enzo story one by one. Quite a lot to look at. This one says breaking news. Chelsea wants Enzo Fernandez and is close to buying him and adding him right now. Negotiations are on the way and advanced. This was yesterday, but I don't think this is correct because there are other conflicting reports. Same time that this was out yesterday, there are other people saying um, that, again, that Benfica aren't willing to sell, and that again we haven't started any negotiations with them, not yet. But we've spoken to the players' club, yada yada yada. A lot of conflicting stuff, but the latest news says again things are progressing. Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea are now discussing internally about. We'll get back to Enzo. I think that shouldn't have been there internally. About N'Golo Kante, the player really wants to stay at Chelsea. He loves the club and the city. A few weeks ago, negotiations were really difficult, but now Kante seems open to discuss a different terms. Again, that is really good to see. And I'm saying, if anything, it looks as if Christopher Vivell probably did talk some sense, like Bobby would say, into Bali and co. Let him know, look, again, this is a guy, if you keep him, if you can get 15, 20, 25 games from him, he will help you win quite a lot. And I'm happy that things are going, again, towards the right direction at this point because Kante will help us win a lot, even if we sign other midfielders in the world that are considered the best. So quickly, again, Hakeem, your thoughts on the Kante situation improving?
Yeah, hello everyone. I hope everyone is doing good. Um, for
Yeah,
me
hello to
about
you too.
Kante, about my issue with Kante is like I was really furious when I heard that he wants to leave and the club is trying to give him
Hmm.
the club is trying to renew his contract. For
Hmm.
me, with his injury problem, if we really love the club, I think we have to like compromise. And I was thinking that he's going to do that, but then if Kante was to leave and he was to give him some suggestions to try and stay in the club and he still insists that he wants to leave because he think the club are not treating him fairly. For me,
Hmm.
I would have like I wouldn't even consider him as legend anymore because I've seen people like PK in their club when their club is falling, they took a pay cut, and they tried to do as much as they could to save the club. And with Kante, yeah, he was with Chelsea when Chelsea was in um was going through difficulties. But this is the time that he knows that we need him the most, and he's also not reliable. So he should also try to compromise and try to make. And he has gotten. Um, I feel like he has also get like a lot of his pay his contract his payment is okay, like for a player like him, and he's getting at the end of his career, and I don't know which club is willing to pay him the amount of money that we are paying him, apart from PSG and team, and yeah, apart from PSG, I don't see any club that is willing to pay him the amount that he think he deserves at this point of his life. Barcelona cannot pay you that amount. Juventus cannot pay you that amount. So sometimes also you also have to uh, know that like some things is beyond money. When you develop like when you have a bond with with a team that you know you've achieved so much with, sometimes it's like it's beyond money because I've seen other teams sacrificing for their club. So I started even making lists, and I was looking at most of our first 11. And to tell you the truth, I would say a player like Diego Silva, who just came to our team, is
Hmm.
will like will sacrifice more for Chelsea than most of the players that are in Chelsea before him. Like this is how I see him. Like, you'll be loyal to Chelsea than most of the players that are in Chelsea before him. So I was really shocked when I started hearing the news, but also some part of me didn't believe everything that was coming out, because I know Kante, I know how.
Go ahead when you finish.
Yeah, and I know Kante, I know how humble he is. So for me, I was confident that they will come to a terms. But if like they didn't come to a terms, and he still insists that he wants to leave because the club aren't treating him good enough, then like I would have been really shocked, and I would have some problem like with that decision from him.
Here's the thing. If he again, let's say Kante decides to leave today, and if the club don't offer him what he wants, I will not complain one bit. I will not blame him again 1 second, because again he's served us well. He's been again a good servant to the club. If anything, we're actually again the ones that ran into the ground. For him again being on the pitch, even when he plays closer to the final third, we still rely on him to be the one protecting the defense. On the side, we saw that. He's a guy again. He's been too important to us and to the French national team, that if he gets injured, the slightest he recovers, we pull him back. Not giving him time enough to recover. So again, I'm just going to say I'm happy. I get you. You have every right to express yourself, to say again you wouldn't have been happy with him had they left us now that we need him. First of all, it is business for all parties involved. It is business for the player as much as it is business for the club. Plus, if you let him go, go ahead.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but my issue is sometimes you have to also try to compromise, because as I said, it's business, and Kante have to also understand that you are not the Kante that you used to be. You understand, like and no, I'm not sure that even.
Here's the thing. I get your argument. I really want us to move from the Kante argument here. The most important thing is that he's staying. Here's the thing, Hakeem. We're talking about.
For me, I'm happy. I'm happy that he's staying.
Yeah, more importantly, yeah, exactly. The previous owners had 3+1 offer on the table for him, and the new owners again presented him with a 2+1 offer, plus saying publicly, especially Antonio Thomas Tuchel, as much as I loved him, I hated that he did that, saying publicly how Kante's injury record has to be factored into the new contract structure, which to me, he shouldn't be saying that, even if that's the case. Again, I'm going to repeat myself. A player, if anything, what's the reason why it's starting to look like he's injury prone? And if we're being factual here, that's a chance after, again, he's gone under the knife. That's a chance, again, they've corrected the problem permanently. And Kante should fall into that category of players, which includes again, Luka Modric. I've said this a million times. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Thiago Silva. Look at those older players who can still play at the highest level, even though they're in the late 30s. He's in his early 30s. Yeah. So, but just 1 second, Tobago. So, to me, the only thing we'll do to find a way to manage him. Kante is a player. I've said this again a million times. If you can get 20 games from him, he can help you win a lot of trophies. Like Bobby said the other day, we're talking about the same player since he joined us. Name any trophy that, again, all the trophies that we've won since he joined us, he was pivotal to us winning all of them. There's no one you would look at and say, well, he wasn't that important. He was half fit when we won the Europa League under Mauricio Sarri. He wasn't fully fit in the Champions League final against Manchester United, yet he was one of the best players on the pitch. But again, we won the game in the midfield, and it was because of him. Although he didn't score or created something, but he nearly scored a header actually, which was again against those that were taller than him. Tobago, go ahead with what you wanted to say. Hakeem, sorry for cutting you off.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, Coach, I agree with you, because, like, as I said before, like, it's not wise as a club to repeat the mistake we made against the time we sold Matic to Manchester United. We got the Bakayoko in, and now we are looking to Enzo. So, for example, what if we get Enzo and we let Kante and Jorginho leave for free? Is that wise? You have to keep off your midfield so that those new players they'll give him more time to gel with the team, not can come straight into the team and then be under pressure. You saw what anyhow did with Bruno Tramares at Newcastle. He started to give him 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Now he's the main player at the club. So we should be careful when we letting go our key players. So I maybe that Kante is about to get a new contract. So let it be, guys. So we should be happy. So I don't want our Chelsea fans just to say Kante is injury prone. As you said, we made him an injury prone. If that's it, then.
Yeah, if anything, it was our fault really. And like Bobby would say, they always bring up examples of how you easing the new players, you easing the younger ones. You make it a gradual process. You keep them hungry by not making them feel like we've arrived. But Enzo's case is going to be different if we pay that much money for him. But the point is, you still need again the established heads in the club to lead the way. If anything, Kante is one player I'd keep. Again, would I have loved to keep Aspilicueta? No, but I understand the reason the club decided to keep him. It wasn't for playing time. It wasn't for again how good he still is. I'm sure the club again they know quite well that he isn't that Aspilicueta he used to be, but they had to keep him. Let me catch up with while we have the chat. I'll come back to Bobby in a bit. If we want to win the Premier League, we need players like Enzo. Chelsea are trying to get the price from 106 to 90 for Enzo. What I'm hearing is that Chelsea are trying to get them to sell. Again, they're willing to pay more than the asking, again, the release clause, but to pay in bits and not in bulk. But again, this also sounds like something that may well be the truth. If Kante signs a new deal, he needs to put his foot down and say, I'm not ready to play a full game. Again, here's the thing, it becomes a problem. We should manage him. We should keep him. Again, I understand a lot of people who are really not paying attention are saying, let him go, let him go. If we let go Kante, let go Jorginho, let go Cesar Spilicueta, and then sign all new players, it would take us like 3 years to pick up fully, to be ready to start again, to compete again, you can say very well in all competitions. We still need them. We need a mix of experience, balance, and old heads, old gods, if you want to say it that way, at the club. Sometimes they come in very handy. The old guards were the reason why Thomas Tuchel were actually able to achieve what he did he achieved at the club. Antonio Conte also, the old guards were the reason why he was able to achieve what he achieved at the club. Mourinho's second stint, the old guards also were the reasons why he was able to achieve what he did. That's not saying they're here to start every game, but they're there. Sometimes when the Chiefs are down, they're the ones that usually come on and change things. But unfortunately, we have that mentality that we have to just let them all go, let player A, B, C, D go, and just bring in all new players, which isn't even possible anyway. Because even if you want to again overhaul a team, it takes again about 2-3 seasons. Actually, sometimes not even 2-3 seasons, because getting the players you want, it's like doing a puzzle. It's not that simple if you really want to get it right. But that's, by the way, I didn't believe Kante actually wanted to leave, to be honest. I seriously believed he wanted to leave because I get Emmanuel, as much as I understand Hakim's argument, in the case of Kante, there will never be shortage of clubs willing to take him. Believe me. If anything, because Real Madrid have spent so much money, it's on a free. They tried to get him to sign for them. I see Paris Saint-Germain coming. Barcelona already wanted to sign him. Even, again, Arsenal would take him in a heartbeat. Man United would, even though they have Casemiro, but they would take him because he knows the Premier League quite well. Again, but that's, by the way, really, I'm so happy. That's the most important thing. Hopefully, again, they come to a conclusion soon and say, okay, yeah, he's extended, he's staying with us. I cannot believe the poll thinks Enzo is worth over 106 million. Again, in today's market, he's worth 50 million max. It's the buyout clause, which is mad for anyone to trigger. That's what we're talking about. The buyout clause is the issue. And if we're in a hurry to get him, we'd have to pay the buyout clause. And if we wait and end up missing out on the Champions League, not missing out of top 4 and not win the Champions League, then we'd have to, again, slug it out with other clubs again, the next transfer window, there's a chance we will not have a chance because they offer Champions League football. Kante, Aspi, and J5 have to go. They are declining now. They have to go, but it's not going to be drastic. For instance, Kante stays, and probably Jorginho gets to leave on a free. Aspi gets, again, to leave when his current contract expires. Yeah, that makes sense. But Aspi, he wasn't kept at the club because of his playing ability, not because, again, he's still the best, one of the best in the world. No. They want again, the spine to remain intact. We don't want the change to be drastic. Bobby, I'll get to you in a bit. Sorry. Honestly, again, the old ownership offered him 3+1. Then the new ownership shouldn't have gone back on that. Yeah, exactly. That, to me, as much as Bobby explained now he's a year older, to me, it's still, again, the way the whole thing was talked about, it sounded as if the approach wasn't respectful. If anything, was disrespectful, really. No, Enzo is costing a lot of money. I know Enzo is costing a lot of money, but I have no doubt that our new directors will be able to save money in other areas with their knowledge of the transfer market. They understand, again, they understand the politics of the transfer market, because it is politics no matter how you see it. Kingsley London says, guys, again, has anyone considered bringing back Eden Hazard? That would go a long way in solving our midfield headache. And he is cheap. Here's the thing, I don't think he's cheap. One thing is this, I think the club makes more money if he stays there. I think that's how I see it, because if he wins, we get a million, 2 million, 3 million every time he wins something. I don't know the structure, whether that ends at a certain point. I'm all for him coming back if there's that possibility. The club consider him again, but I don't think it's that simple. There's a lot more to it than just, again, him talking about him coming back. If you want to be a top club, you have to be willing to pay top money. Yep, now and again for a MyQ player, that's the truth. Alex Becker's channel, I haven't seen you in a while, brother. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much again for finding time to join the show. I think Enzo's deal is a good one. If we wait until next summer, we won't get him. Yep. NG Stain is great too. A lot of people don't think so. Unfortunately, Enzo is fairly worth the price, as he can bring the midfield into live alongside Kante, alongside, again, Kovacic, because I've done my research actually. I think he's a good, he can put in some good tackles. And I'm seeing some statistics that say I think he's the second in terms of tackles won. I'll look at it again so I don't just pull numbers out of my wazoo and throw them at you. I'm going to go to Bobby. He's been there for a while. He hasn't spoken. Bobby, if you're there, your thoughts on the news we're hearing about N'Golo Kante?
Well, my first thoughts are, with the loss we all had in the football world, indeed in the world last night.
Oh, thank you for bringing that up. Go ahead.
Of Pele, perhaps to many the greatest footballer that has existed, and
the
true great
GOAT
person. You know, a man that came from absolutely nothing to exhibit talent that we remain grateful for. He has brought people together. He coined the term Bogo Bonita.
Is that was
the beautiful
Jogo
game.
Bonito.
Jogo Bonito, the beautiful game. He really was an amazing player, and it's a loss. Yes, he was aged. Yes, he was ill for a long time, but the world was a better place for having him in it.
It doesn't feel
really
real,
was.
really, hearing that it's past.
Yeah, I've been watching lots of the tributes. Quite a few channels are full of him, and rightly so. It's a loss. It's a big loss, But
Yeah,
moving on.
Yeah, I'm working on a YouTube shot on him, and again on his history. I don't know whether it can still be a shot. It's growing at more than a minute, which means it will not be a shot, except if I remove some stuff. But rest in peace to the greatest, to the real GOAT, greatest of all time, Pele. Who, if you look at the skills, Ronaldo and those most skillful players in the world, the skills they are exhibiting. This is something he's done decades ago. Yeah, he's the first to do it on the big stage. Let's just put it that way. But if anything, he is the greatest that's ever played the game. His record shows that he's won 3 World Cups. Has anybody else done that? Plus other things he's done. But that's by the way. Go ahead, Bobby. Sorry for again cutting you off.
Yeah, yeah. He had won 3 World Cups. He had been part of I think, one of only 2 nations that had defended the World Cup back to back. So he's extraordinary. Often when people talk about him, they feel compelled to speak of the others. Yes, we know the likes of Maradona, Messi, Ronaldo, that they are amazing players, but this is his time. This is the time, because he will never be able to give this time, at least in the flesh, and the time to remember that not only was he perhaps the first of this sort of mega star talent, but to many he was the best. And he is one player that, even for those to this day that were not even born when Maradona was around, not to mention when Pele was around, they know of him, they've seen his videos, and his legacy has been a very positive stamp on the game. And I'm so glad that you have posted a picture in tribute of him, because in football, I think he should be remembered and he should be acknowledged for this time that he has passed away, really.
Yeah. More importantly, he was so humble.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Yeah, the modern day stars are so arrogant. Again, every now and then you see that measure of arrogance, even to the most humble of them. But this man was so humble, so humble. You'd be meeting him feeling like you're meeting the greatest player of all time. He'd be meeting you as, again, recognizing who you are, talking to you. Again, you should see him with Maradona having conversations. I think yeah, again, he should be appreciated, and hopefully, what I'm preparing for him comes out good. But go ahead, Bobby. So yeah,
and also remembering to condole his family, because they will miss him more than we do.
Yeah, that's the truth.
But moving on, yes, it's good news that Kante is. There are positive talks about him extending his contract. I think it's very important. I had mentioned on a platform that the big thing with Kante is to manage and respect his body. This is why Chelsea needs to have a strength in depth all over the field, and especially in the midfield. Having Enzo Fernandez, Kante, perhaps Declan Rice, or Moise Casido, or a Kone, or all 3 of them. That needs to be what we have in midfield. I sent you a tweet from Cy Phillips and Dan about Chelsea's transfer plans for the January and the summer. The players that they are targeting, they have to target them. 1 midfielder, 1 right back, and 1 forward for January, and then the summer will be another midfielder, a defender at least. I think a defender is also targeted for January, and a goalkeeper. So these are crucials. The entire squad needs to be revamped completely. I can see, once we get those midfielders in, I can see at least 2 being let go. I don't think we're going to hold on to Jorginho, more especially if we get Kante and the others that we've got in this. That's by the summer. And as much as I love him, I am concerned if we get in somebody like Ruben or Moise Casido, or indeed extend the contract for Zakaria. I am concerned for Ruben. Ruben really has to up his game now in order to stay. And indeed, Gallagher, there are players now coming in, your likes of João Felix, and, we're not messing around, and we cannot afford to mess around.
Just quickly, just quickly, Bobby, we'll still come back to the case of Joao Felix Ruben and all that, how we make way. The question I want to ask you, Bobby, because I know you probably have an idea what's going on. Where do you think, again, you could say the common ground, what do you think what do you think that has led to the club, making positive progress in terms of contract costs with N'Golo Kante? Do you think it's because we have a technical director who understands football very well and probably has spoken with the new owners and let them know, look, this guy, Kante, we have to keep him. Look how important, look how what he's achieved with France. If we keep him, even if we can get 20 games from him, I think that would be great. Do you think that's what happened? Because the turnaround is surprise, really, because it was like he's already on his way to Barcelona and boom, progress. He's happy to stay.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's part of it, but I don't think it's all of it. I think a lot of the stuff we had heard about N'Golo Kante was just media mischief, I call it.
Hmm.
It was never on the. I don't even think what they were calling non-progressive discussions was just no discussions at all. The guy had had surgery. You know, there was a need to um, find out the results of the surgery and to go through his healing and rehabilitation process. Now that the rehab is coming to a point of prognosis, um, the prognosis has been given, or at least is made known to the owners. And if they feel from the prognosis that he is recovered enough to still play again and get back
Hmm.
to his active fitness, then the discussions uh, um, have begun. He himself had never really been keen on leaving Chelsea, as far as I know. And I think it is in his interest, in the club's interest, that we extend him. He's not at that age where going to another club now is of any real benefit to him. He's won things. He's loved at Chelsea. He's respected. He's at the peak. I
And
think
more
him.
importantly, there's family, moving family around.
Well, this is it. I think him going anywhere else would be a mistake, just like Eden Hazard moving away from Chelsea. I personally, to this day, even when he was leaving, I felt it was a mistake. There are certain clubs where your star will shine, and once you walk away, your star is dimmed. And Eden Hazard, most definitely, he's not a Real Madrid player, never has been, never will be. Now, he may have wanted to go there because of the sun and the money and the life of playing for Real Madrid, but
Mm.
those days are gone now. There are many clubs that can not only give you the financial status but can give you the footballing status. And
Yeah.
even though they may not have won as much as Real Madrid, but what does it matter? Madrid have won all that apart from the Champions League in a league that is not so fiercely competitive. And being the pioneer, as it were, is often worth more than just joining a long line of Galacticos
Hmm.
who are as quickly forgotten as they are, remembered when they're arriving. So I hope it all goes through correctly for N'Golo Kante.
I
The
hope so.
Chelsea fans love him. People want him to stay, and he just needs to do it. But more importantly, I hope his body is respected. He needs to understand his body,
Hmm.
even if he's fully healed and the surgery has corrected the problem. The fact is, once you've put a knife to something, there's always that tendency that it's not quite the same. And a muscular issue is, muscles expand, they stretch, they're strained constantly, especially the way he plays. So I really hoped that he would retire from international football. I don't think that's going to be the case, but I really hope that, because I don't think the likes of Deschamps or anyone is going to respect him if he
Yeah.
comes back from injury.
Yeah.
That respect will come from the club, who helped him heal. So that's the key thing. You don't need to play him every game. And if you have strength in depth, you won't have to do that. You won't feel pressure to do that. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's
Hopefully, again, here's the thing. Even if he wants to retire, like you said, I don't think the French national team will respect that. I think they'd convince him to do otherwise, because the truth is, had he been part of their World Cup squad this past in Qatar, the chances are they would have won it, really. He's
yeah.
that good. He's that important to that team as much as it's important to Chelsea. So that's, by the way, guys, and thank you for that in-depth response, Bobby. I'll come to you in a bit, Rodrigo. Just be patient with me. Let me catch up with what we have. The poll which asks that you think Enzo Fernandez is too expensive. 44% says yes. No, no, he is worth the price. It's 56%, and that is 70%, 70 votes. That's quite a lot. And the question I want to ask: why do we have 70 votes and we have just 37 likes? Please, can we fix that, please? It doesn't make any sort of sense. If you took just a second to participate in the poll, you could, again. It takes just equally just half a second to again drop a like on the stream to help us reach more people. The likes do go a long way. Please take a second, drop a like on the stream. Let's shoot for 100 likes by the time the show ends. We were able to do that yesterday, and we can actually do that today again. Young Fredley says Enzo is fairly worth the price, as he can bring the midfielder into live and alongside. I think I've read that before. On Young Freddy, welcome to the channel. If you haven't, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much. Yes, RIP Pele. And again, we got, okay, let me not say that now. Enzo and Cover were two of the top three tacklers at the World Cup. You see that? And that's huge. I didn't know he was that good in terms of tackling, but I'd play him closer to the final third, given how, again, he played deep for Argentina. Correct me if I'm wrong. Given how good he is, again, he has good vision, good passer of the ball, and can finish quite well. RIP, yep, RIP, Pele. Thanks for the memories. Again, there will never be another Pele. Even if somebody ends up beating his record, that person again will be different. That's the thing. Wako Abdullah says Enzo is worth every penny that will be paid for him. He adds a lot to our Chelsea team. Still young again and will be here for a while. Hopefully, it's not that type of player. After 2 years, he wants to leave it. But if that's the case, we'll still get a lot of money from him, because he'll be signing at least 6-year contract. Yes, people, please keep liking the stream. 43 likes. I think we're going to hit 100 plus today. But let's keep liking the stream. Let's keep liking the stream, guys. Again, the more you like the stream, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered, the more people will join us. More people will have more fun. So please keep liking it. And to my bro, CFC OG, nice to see you, brother. Again, I appreciate you finding time to join the show. Yes, we go. Kante coming around. Yeah, and a few people do want him to leave, saying he's finished. And that's one, again, the mindset I don't like with Chelsea fans, really not paying back loyalty. Plus, he's still good and can help us achieve quite a lot. And if you're still watching, bro, do share the links to your channel so people can go check it out. We need, again, excessive squad strength. Yep, excessive is a language I want to see, mainly due to injuries, not competition. No top 10 team in the European League has a worse injury record than Chelsea this season. That is really concerning. And again, it doesn't look like it's something that started just now. There's something that's been happening in the club, maybe training methodology, training methods again. Now the whole thing again is now happening, but it started happening since the approach scenes set it up to happen the way it's happening right now. So yeah, I understand your concerns there. The bias, I swear, against English players, Enzo is what. Yeah, I get it. Robin Judge. English players will always be more expensive, no matter how you see it. And if we end up buying Enzo and pay the release clause, that doesn't mean it's any measure of bias. It is really because, again, we're in a hurry to get him, because we don't want to get to a situation where we'd be competing with other clubs to secure his signature. that's the case. So for us to get him now, we'd have to pay the buyout clause. Plus, again, we're asking them, telling them we want to pay more so that we'll pay the make the payments in beats. So if that makes any sort of sense to you, Chelsea 254 says Stanislav Loberta, this guy would replace Kante like he never left. But football doesn't work like that. You also this PR aspect of it. Plus, Kante is good. But I get your argument there. Please, any news on Enzo? We'll talk about Enzo in a bit. How about Enzo Fernandez deal? When will it be announced as new Chelsea player? It's not gotten to that stage. If anything, negotiations are still ongoing. We haven't heard that the club has both clubs have come to an agreement. That has to happen first before you start hearing anything about announcement or so. I've been having a hard time finding this a program. Now I know why it was moved to 6 a.m. my time. Apologies, really. Apologies. I do it at 3 a.m. my time. 3, sometimes 3:30, sometimes 4. It depends. I am usually not awake at this time. As for Enzo, he's good, but that price rubs me the wrong way. Victor Angayare, how are you doing, brother? I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. No, it's fair price. Okay, if that's how you see it. Big ups to you too, Francis Winters. Yes, people smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. 48 likes, but we should be doing better than that. We can get 3 or 4 better players than he is with that 120 million. And that's the truth. But again, they work with numbers. If they feel like he's the guy that will help us get to where we're going, let them sign the check. We can, with that money, we can get Vanessa. We can get even what's the Moroccan international. There are 3 good players you can look and say we can actually get them. But we're paying that much money because we want him now. And again, like Benfica said, they're not selling this January except if you're willing to pay the buyout clause. Hope that makes sense. Priority number 1 for Chelsea this transfer season should be keeping N'Golo Kante. My take. I'm like that too. I feel the same. Yes, people keep liking the stream. 48 likes. We should be doing better than that. Again, like and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much. Enzo Fernandez is a baller. Yes, I think he is. But I think the hype, there's a bit overhyped there given his performance at the World Cup. But he's also been in good form for Benfica. Hearing the Kante news made me happy. I could not believe the disrespect Kante was getting from YouTubers and some Chelsea fans also who saying he's done. How would you I don't know how I don't want to go into talking about how we should manage his fitness and keep him and how he can help us. Onoahi, I haven't done my research on that player in question to talk about him, but you can let us know why do you think we should go for him. He's not even a player I know. I have to be honest with you. I don't know every player. A question here. Sorry?
Morocco, number 8.
Moroccan international. Yeah, I don't know him that well, really. Do you think I don't even remember him, even if I watched the Morocco games, but I don't remember him that much. Do you think Enzo will fit the Chelsea? I think he will. But go ahead, Rodrigo, your thoughts on the Kante situation.
Yeah, first of all, big up everyone. Big up, coach. Always nice.
Big up to you too, brother.
Always nice to be on the panel. And RIP to Pele. I think him and Messi are the truly greatest of all time. Messi in modern era, Pele as in all time. Yeah, anyways, I think with the Kante news, I actually agree with you, coach. I think as soon as we have football people running, people joining the team at director level, you see they spot it straight away and say, right, you need to keep this guy. Because what keeping Kante, what that's gonna allow us to do is we're gonna splash on one big superstar, and then we don't have to go for another £100 million player. So we can get a Kante and then maybe get another young player to supplement if we do get Enzo. So now you have Enzo, Kante. You also maybe they might even keep Jorginho just so that we don't have. I think that's the way they're working. Because I personally don't see us spending another 70 million or 80 million on another midfielder if we sign Enzo for 120. So they're going to renew both Jorginho and Kante, sign Enzo, and then here we go. That'll be the midfield, and obviously Kovacic. That'll be the midfield going forward, and maybe sell Ruben, sell maybe Gallagher, because Gallagher can fetch us a good amount. Even though I feel like the manager really likes Gallagher, he always brings him on. But I feel like if we do get an offer, I can see him going. So if we do sign Enzo, we keep Kante. I can really see us keeping Jorginho as well, and not spend that much money on midfielder anymore, because obviously the fee that we're spending on Enzo is quite hefty. So yeah, that's my theory. And I think it's the football people at Chelsea. They just probably told Todd Boehly, listen, you're gonna end up spending another like 70 million on say Moses Caicedo or Declan Rice, all these people, when you can just renew these two guys and have your superstar, and then like they can hold the fort for another 2 seasons. I can see that conversation going. And I
Yeah,
think it makes sense.
and with N'Golo Kante fit, we would see the best of Enzo if we
Yeah, I
sign him.
think yeah,
Just like he's
yeah,
done for just like Kante has done with other players that played alongside him. Because
exactly.
he can help protect the defense, and he gives you the freedom to do whatever you want to do on the pitch. It depends on
Yeah.
how the manager wants to deploy him. But go ahead with what you were
And
saying.
yeah, and talking about Enzo himself, he can play. He can play in an advanced role, or he can play as a deep line. I think he's more the way when I see him, he's more. He has a lot of attribute that Kovacic has, and
Hmm.
one thing he has extra that Kovacic doesn't really. It still struggles with it. Is the final third decision making. I think he has that. But one Kovacic has is the dribbling. Kovacic is a very good
Yeah,
ball
progressing the
carrier.
ball, no matter
Yeah,
how aggressively opposition
he
play or
will he
how they
will find a
press
way.
us. Yeah,
Yeah, but this guy, what he's good at is you can see even with Argentina for Benfica.
yeah.
His
We will
first
get to
time goal.
Enzo in a
We'll
bit.
get to him. But for me,
Yeah,
Kante, on the Kante topic, is an amazing news. I don't understand the disrespect people put on Kante's name. This guy has given us everything. You can see on the pitch, he's not fully fit. He never shy away. Always put his. I think it's time for us to repay that, and I think he's willing to, because the
plus,
negotiation they say is willing.
repaying him doesn't mean again. It's a charitable
No, no,
thing
it's
to
not
do. No,
charitable.
again,
No, no.
because he's still valuable, really.
He's still valuable. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not. Yeah, we shouldn't get this twisted. Kante is valuable. Kante gives you 10 world class game a season. It's still worth it for me.
Which is enough to win you a lot.
Yeah, if we want to win you a trophy, for me, Kante in the final is the difference between win a cup or not. Can is a top of player. So this is an amazing news, and I also think Jorginho will also renew. I think we will renew all of them, and we're not gonna sign
Mm,
another big midfielder.
let's see. Again,
We'll see.
if the
We'll see.
manager really
That's my
wants
theory.
him, if that
That's
is
my theory.
if Potter really wants him, then he renews.
I think he will. I think he will. I think we're not gonna sign. We're not gonna sign another blockbuster midfield if we sign Enzo. I think we might sign another young player, but it's not gonna be in the like the Declan Rice or Moses Caicedo, all these big names. I don't think so.
Mm.
I think if we knew the two guys, that's gonna save us money. I think they realized what they've done in the summer with the previous board that they didn't renew. What's his name, Rudiger and Christensen. They end up costing them a lot, signing
Yeah, which
defenders.
again at this stage, everything comes down to again paying out of this world salary to keep Jorginho.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
It might
Yeah.
be cheap
Good
actually to renew them and
guys,
to,
you have to understand. There's no sentiment here. You have to understand the deficiencies of the team.
it is. I'm not talking
There's
about
no,
sentiment.
talk
I'm talking
about
about money.
praising
I'm not talking
money
about
and
sentiment. I'm talking about it costs
the
you
o-
80 million pounds to sign a
the
new
owners
person,
are not
and
are not
it'll be cheaper to renew. I'm
What,
seeing
what,
owners the
on the
owners
business.
are not.
Rodrigo, let's try and get Bobby's point quickly so we can move on from that particular topic. Go ahead, Bobby. But you will
I can
you
assure
he wants
you.
to respond to something you said. Go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah, I can assure you the owners are not thinking like that. That is fan mentality. The owners want the club to progress. And if you want the club to progress and be
Mm.
able to compete and outbid people like Man City and so on, you have to refresh the squad, especially the midfield. I will be personally disappointed if they don't bring in another solid midfielder. Jorginho doesn't have to stay. his deficiencies are too many. People are talking about, oh, he might go to Newcastle. Yeah, go. He's not. He's too deficient for Chelsea to keep that luxury. It will be a bit of a luxury to renew Kante because we've got to be careful with him, and so we have to surround him with midfield depth that can play well and succeed when he's not there. Kante and Kovacic is enough. The rest has to be rebuilt.
Here's the thing, Bobby. I love you, but I respectfully disagree that Jorginho's deficiencies are too many. Really, I disagree in that one. But I get your
I agree
argument.
with
Really,
you.
I know
agree
where you're
with
coming from.
On this,
Go ahead. What were you saying, Rodrigo?
on this topic, I agree with you, and I also think we don't print money at Chelsea. If you're gonna spend 120 million, we're not gonna spend another 100 million on another midfielder, and then on top of that, we also need. I personally don't. I think a way for them to get a superstar is to renew these two guys. You'll see.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's it. That was
If
I
anything,
understand what Bobby's saying.
the reason Jorginho will most likely leave will be this, because Kante staying means his salary goes up nearly 100% increase. The renewal plus
To the
Messi
same
match
salary.
renewal, those things will bump up the total salary that the club pays weekly. So which means paying Jorginho what he wants will be even more difficult.
No, it could
And-
be that
yeah.
Kante actually on reduced terms. Who knows?
Yeah, let's maybe let's see what happens. Let's just Peter Alenchukwu says,
Still there.
yeah, go ahead if you're saying something.
No,
I'll catch up.
Still there.
Sorry?
So I don't see Chelsea spending 300 million on two players or close to that amount on two
They
players.
don't have to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They have to
Kone is
scout.
not going
That's-
to cost
That's
that
my
much.
point. They have to get the second midfielder.
Bobby,
to
are
be-
we serious about Kone?
Well, Vival wants him,
Vivel want him, so
and he's your technical director. So I think that's about as serious as it gets.
Mhm.
There's him. There's Moise Casido, who is
Casido's
is
70.
not off the table,
Casido 70.
and somewhere lurking in the background is still Declan Rice. I don't know.
But not the possibility of Declan Rice in January isn't there, given what the David Moyes said.
No. We if you read the DM I sent you, people like that would be summer deals, if at all.
Why am I not seeing the DM? Did you send it to the group? Probably you sent it to the group, but I'll find
I
it.
think I sent it to the one that you
group.
send the link to.
Okay, the panelist group. Okay, I'll open it then. Yeah. So here again,
you know,
go ahead. Sorry, you were speaking.
I cannot. The way it is, and I know that the club also needs this. This group wants a refreshment. They've wanted, and they've got a refreshment in the management team, and they'll want a refreshment in the playing staff. There'll be some players to leave for sure. There's no value in Jorginho, not if you're going to progress. If you want to stay the same, then fine. He's your man. But if you really want to go on to the next level, you got to dump people like that. It's as simple as that, and move on to better things.
Yeah, I understand your argument quite well. Peter Elenchukwu one day says again, let's just get who can help Chelsea midfield as soon as possible. Enzo is worth it. To me, I think we're overpaying, and for obvious reasons, we can't do otherwise. If we want him now, you pay the buyout clause, and no matter the structure, you have to pay that or even more. As in our case, we're willing to pay more to be the ones to get him. But that's by the way. Here, Bruno Camastra says Enzo Fernandez is a different animal, but let's imagine him joining us. In my opinion, Gallagher or Mount will have to make a space in the long term. If anybody is going to make space, I don't think it will be Mount, except if they don't, again, reach an agreement with regards to his new contract. And we haven't heard anything since, so I'm really concerned in that aspect. Modest community, I love that name. Says Enzo is a huge gamble, one that can turn out to be good or be bad. Might be the next Lukaku.
No.
If anything, no matter how bad things turns out, Enzo will not come close to being as bad as Lukaku. No, if anything, it would be that he's not measuring up to how much you pay for him. But I don't think that would be the case. Lukaku's case before he came, in 3 different videos, I remember Bobby getting into trouble by using some term, saying it's like comparing him with Lukaku and Haaland. I'm not going to go into how the term Bobby used, but it was misunderstood or maybe again exaggerated or something. But again, Bobby was one of those saying we shouldn't go for him. I made about 3 videos. One with Taron, one with HH from Harvard Football Hurts, one with one other person telling them Lukaku doesn't fit again the profile of our players, our attackers that Thomas Tuchel play with. It's going to be a mistake. But that's by the way. But that in this case, we know how good Enzo is. Even when Lukaku was firing on all cylinders, I think Tomila, you can still see he had a bad touch. You can still see it was all counter-attack goals. You could still see he hardly beat his man one-on-one. But in this case, we're talking a player who's a fine dribbler, good on the ball, fine finisher. Again, can create space for himself if things become too tight. And we
also have to understand. Yeah, we also have to understand Lukaku. It wasn't the coach that wanted him. It was Marina and Czech that brought him.
Again, that's a good point. It was actually given what we heard then, the son of the then owner wanted him. But I'm not going to get into that. But I get your argument here. He's never going to be another Lukaku, no matter how bad things get for him. Big up. Let's smash the like button, people. Everyone says my brother Peter and Lenchuku. Nice to see you here on Monday. Thank you. About 5 teams won. Onahi, including Wolves. The thing is this, we're going to be linked to every player that did well at the World Cup. It's a Chelsea thing. If not, you'll be asking yourself, what club are you supporting? Good afternoon to you too, on Friday. Nice to see you. Yep, all Chelsea. Indeed, exactly. Real football people know Kante is a beast and still has it in him. He's one player that even if you can get 10, 15, 20 games, that will mean a lot. It's weird. Every manager that J5 has played with has said they really like him. Again, to me, as much as I know, he has again a deficiency, but he's actually done quite well for himself. He's learned he's mashed up the role of a regista and a DM. He's improved in terms of reading the game. He's improved in terms of being at the right place at the right time. You can beat him with physicality. You can beat him by pace in most cases. And if we're being honest, take some time, do your research. Check the ratio of how many times he's made mistake to how many times our play go through him. You see, it isn't really bad. It's near excellent, really. But I understand Bobby's concern, but because this is the Premier League, would deal with a lot of physical team, and he thinks would be better of having a more physical player. But that's why the way we move on. That's because he's a good player and knows how to organize our midfield, even if we all know he's not the strongest defensively. Yep, it's not, again, the defensive aspect of the game is not his strongest forte. But again, we'll move on. Does anyone see what in which Chelsea get Enzo, Rice, Bellingham? We might have to sell the club. Even though the owners still have a leeway in terms of investing money into the club, that's still too much, really. I think I don't think even Bellingham won't become. I don't think it'd come to Chelsea. Maybe Rice, but not right now. The next window, and he comes on a cheap. I would have preferred Declan Rice over Enzo. That is, if we're signing Enzo to play deep, but I think we're signing Enzo to probably play closer to the final third and as an attacking midfielder, which he really is. Rice is both different.
But coach, can I ask you something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do we really need an attacking midfielder at this point in Chelsea? At this point in the season?
Here's the thing. We do need an attacking midfielder. And to answer your question, that's actually one of the most important positions we need to fill. Since we lost Fabregas, Juan Mata, we rarely create clear-cut chances from central area of the pitch. All our chances,
but mainly 70%.
No, but they're not good. Are they producing double digits in terms of a chance creation at the end of the season? They don't. That's the point.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but What about a player like Zakaria, the one from
No,
Russia?
Zakaria plays deep. If anything, he's a defensive midfielder. If anything, he gets into the box. That's one thing he's always had in his game.
He's talking about the Russian kid.
Yeah, maybe the Russian kid. Yeah, the Russian kid.
I think the most important. I think the most important thing more than attacking midfielder is the defensive.
No, I really don't think so. Honestly, I really don't think so. We can do both. Again, let's say the most important areas to fix in our team is the midfield. That includes getting a central attacking midfielder who can get us double digits, again, by the time the season ends, and create a lot of chances from the center area so that we can diversify our chance creation. So we don't just only create chances from the flanks. And when oppositions cut out our chance creation from the flanks, we're done. But if we can diversify our chance creation and include creating chances from the center area, would be very unpredictable, like Manchester City. So again, the chances will be coming from center area, right side, left side. Then it will be very unpredictable. I don't know how to answer that. Not Bellingham, maybe Rice and Enzo, maybe Rice next summer. I see Bellingham going to Liverpool or Real Madrid because they've been talking to Enzo. Please can do better. Okay. Let's see. Jorginho has to go. I agree with Bobby. Okay, if that's how you see it. When will Enzo come and do the test? We don't know yet. It hasn't gotten to the level of doing the test. There's still negotiations are still ongoing. But we'll still talk about Enzo in a bit. Enzo would be the starting signing. The other players we will buy will be from player sales.
Coach, I'm not saying I know where Bellingham will go, but I just want to throw this out there for those that are so convinced about him going to Liverpool or Real Madrid. Jude Bellingham is a Chelsea boy. He has always been. And I don't know. I wouldn't be 100% sure he's not coming to Chelsea.
You sure he's a Chelsea boy?
Where did you hear that from? Because what I also
he's a Liverpool boy, if anything. That's what we've heard the most.
He's a Liverpool boy. He's a Liverpool boy, and his parents are core Liverpool fans. I've never heard anywhere that he's a Chelsea boy. He's like a
unless I'm mixing him up with Jadon Sancho.
Yeah, you're mixing him up. I think Sancho is the one that has always been a Chelsea boy, but even I don't want chance at Chelsea right now.
I don't want Sancho, but
go ahead, Bobby. You were saying something.
Rice definitely is a Chelsea boy, and his family are. But regardless,
you know what?
I think it's too early for us to say
to count
with
us out
certainty where Bellingham will go. Honestly, I really do. I think it's still very much up in the air.
Yeah, it is indeed. And the rumors are, again, what we're hearing out there is that, again, we're very much interested in signing him. But let's see, the possibility is still there. Never say never. Go ahead quickly. Hakeem, what were you saying? I want to catch up with the chat. Again, a few things I see that are important to look at there. Go ahead.
For me, my ideal midfield for right now, if we could get Enzo Fernandez and Declan Rice, I think for maybe if we go for Enzo Fernandez in this January, I think Declan Rice will be Chelsea priority in the summer, so that we can fill the spaces, because I know also I don't think Jorginho will be in Chelsea for long, but for Kante, I'm positive that it's going to be in Chelsea. But I think maybe the board will get Enzo Fernandez and then Declan Rice.
Okay. Again, modest community say I don't think Bellingham would do well in the Premier League. He will end up in the same boat with Kante. Okay, I'm not sure. Again, I don't understand when people say Kante gets injured too much. The man did not get injured chilling at the pitch with a pina colada. He got injured playing for Chelsea. He does most of the cleanup for Chelsea and France and the French national team. Bob is right. Even Ben Jacob said yesterday that Casado deal is very possible. Yep. And plus he has a connection with Graham Potter, so it probably would be easy to convince him to say yes to us. Edson Alvarez for Jorginho, and we are I. Okay, no. You think so?
No, we're not.
No, I don't think so. He's not going to help fulfill that Jorginho role. If anything, the player I want to play deep for us and is capable of fulfilling the register role is Benessa for me. That's my fourth choice of all the deep lying midfielders that we've talked about. Benessa, the AC Milan guy.
I know you took yes.
Yeah, to me, he's my first choice. Of all the deep lying midfielders we've talked about,
There's a
I'll take
player
him
we link with.
anytime, any day over Rice. Sorry?
There's another player we link with from Real Sociedad. I can't pronounce his name.
I remember the
Start with
name.
Z.
His last name sounds like Africa. Zubimendi or Zubi
Yeah,
something.
something like that. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't researched him that well actually. Edson Alvarez for Jorginho, and we're all right. Okay, is that what you think? Or Declan Rice? I don't know why. I really don't value Rice that much. I have to be honest. We are still interested in Alvarez. We're hearing that Todd Bowley wants him. He really wants to honor the promise that we're going to come for him again. But I don't think we're that serious. We haven't heard anything about him. Not heard a lot lately. Yep, you're correct. We haven't heard a lot lately. I will be happy to any combination of those. To me, I really don't want Rice. I'm going to skip quite a few stuff on here and go to the very last comment. Sorry if I skipped your comment. Ojo, again, Enzo, Rice in the summer or midfield is sorted out for the next 10 years. Nice to see you. I hope you had a very good Christmas. And please, if you're watching, if you haven't, please do take a second. So smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Apologies, I'm going to skip this. If I keep reading this as much as I enjoy doing it, that's all we'll do until the show ends. So I'm going to skip quite a few to get to the very bottom, and then I'll try to get your subsequent comments. Ty, I don't know if you have anything to say about the N'Golo Kante news, or we should just move on. Maybe I'll get you in for all the topics we have lined up. It says Chelsea making progress in talks over a new deal for N'Golo Kante. Now likely the 31-year extends amid rival interest. Chelsea also expected to sign at least one midfield in January or summer. Fernandez, Bellingham, high among options. So yeah, never say never about the possibility of signing Bellingham. So Ty, do you have anything to say regarding the Kante news, or should we move on?
Honestly, I think we should proceed with caution. That's all I would say.
Mm-hmm. Okay. About N'Golo Kante, you think?
Yes.
Why do you say that? You can't just tell us that and say that's all I would say for us to go decipher it.
Okay. I'll just say this then. Yes, Kante has done some excellent things for us over the years, but we also need to remember that yes, he might have had surgery, which perhaps I think probably fixes the issue, but there's no
Mm-hmm.
guarantee that the same Kante that we know and love with the same Kante we'll be getting. So yes, there's going to be a 50-50 chance where he'll return and we'll see an even better Kante. Space is still intact, and we're seeing someone that is able to win the ball back, and we're seeing the excellent profile of Kante. But at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, Kante could come back and not be the same player, and then where will the investment into extending him go? I'm not sure. I just see it as a hope for the best situation right now, and considering that he's not going to be back until the latest March, I'm not sure about how smart that is, at least at this time. But I get it. I mean, he's free to speak to clubs in January, and that is in just a matter of days. So I guess it's best to find an answer before it's too late. I don't know. I just find it weird.
Yeah, Rodrigo, before we move on from Kante, I want to ask you this. But just quickly, I want to ask you a question. Please comment. Yeah, you go ahead, shoot the question. If I say that, we'll try to address it. Rodrigo, the question I want to ask you, I know Bobby has also, I think Bobby has also talked about it, and some of us on the panel here has also talked about it. A lot of people are mentioning sack the medical department, hire new medical department. If anything, I think the medical department has since been cleared out, actually.
Yeah, actually, yeah, they have.
Yeah. So, what do you think? What do you have any suspicion as to why we're having too many injuries at the club?
Actually, they didn't fire the medical department. They fired the head of the medical department. So the actual guys that work that take care of the players are still there. It's just let's say their manager is the one that was sacked. I think it's called Paco or something. He was at the club since Roman took over. So they just need to get someone else to come in and and take on that job. I think some of the injuries, actually, if you put it, I think we just I hate using word. We've just been unlucky. Like we have a lot. Like look at Reece James' injury. There's no medical department that can foresee James getting a non-contact injury or Fofana, things like that. But then again, if you go back, Pulisic always getting his hamstring or Kante struggling with all his injuries. It might be, again, you can't even say manager training methodology because we had this issue with Lampard, Tuchel, and now Graham Potter. I think these three managers, they probably have different training methodology, different way they see they see recovery. So I just feel like at the end of the day, we just have to accept that the players that we have are just injury prone players. It's just how it is. I don't think it's maybe it's very hard to put a finger on it. Like if we get a new medical department, that means we need to get like literally we need to fire every single person that works in that department, get new people in. I don't know. Would they come up with ideas to stop injuries like the one that Fofana had? Like that, you can't predict that. So it's just that the players that we have are just too injury prone. That's just how it is.
Yeah,
I think we
it's
due diligence now. Next when we sign players, we just have to.
Can I come in on this?
Yeah, please help me out.
Yeah. Look, people are trying to find a reason, and I think it's very hard to completely pin it on the medical department. It's more likely to be juju than the medical department, to be honest.
Bobby, don't tell
listen. No, in all seriousness, I think you're right. It's bad luck in many cases. I mean, look at for those of us that watched the friendly game against Villa, the Brozier injury. I mean, how do you legislate for that? He went in for a tackle and did himself in. It's just a patch that we're going through that it's just unfortunate. I didn't see Wesley Fofana's repeat injury, but apparently this can happen with injured players, perhaps being rushed back too early. I don't know. Same as Reece James. Apparently, Reece James was meant to play for 60 minutes, and he pulled up on the 50th minute. So I don't know. I wouldn't totally blame them. The medical department has been revamped. There's involvement directly from the United States now with these injuries. I think the answer is depth. You have enough depth, then you have enough time for your injuries to get back. To me, it's that simple. Getting rid of the other head of the medical department. The new owners wanted to refresh things anyway. They wanted a whole new set of management and leadership and everything. So that was inevitable, along with all the others that left, like the chief scout and so on. So yeah, I think we just need to ride this one out. It is upsetting. It is it's strange that for us now, nearly every game, we're bracing ourselves for who's going to be injured next, which is quite ridiculous, really. But I agree, it's unlucky at the moment, and if it's not unlucky, then perhaps it is juju, and we need to maybe talk to our brothers and sisters
so maybe
who know how to deal
imam
with this.
to pray for us.
I don't know. I don't know if any of you have seen this news. I was reading something this morning, and I saw that the lady that used to work under Chelsea, that had
Eva Canero.
Yeah, I heard that.
I don't think she's coming back.
That is the most ridiculous
people are
thing
just
I've
campaigning.
ever
That
heard.
is just campaigned by some people who like her, who wants her back at the club.
Yeah,
When we were talking
that's
about this,
daft.
when we were talking about this injury situation yesterday, somebody said in the chat, it's not like the medical department are getting the players and kicking at them and hurting them.
Exactly.
If anything, their job is to treat them when they get injured.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And plus, coach, the medical department is not the two guys that run on the pitch when the player is down. That's not. There's a big army of people behind the scene that
yeah.
actually, because
Yeah,
you
exactly.
physios in there as well.
And also, can I just address this Eva Canero propaganda? You know, this is somebody
Excuse me.
that took
Sorry,
the
guys.
club. This is somebody that took the club to court and made millions off the club. I mean, what kind of nonsense would it
Yeah, the
be
case had
to
to be settled out of court. But let's just move on from that.
no,
We're not
yeah, I
here to talk
mean,
about it. Yeah.
the point is you don't bring this is not about individuals. I mean, what it doesn't make sense. There's so many
Mhm.
top sports medics out there that should be given a chance.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the new owners won't be looking backwards in that way.
Yeah. And Hashim Niaz, lifetime Joseph Fine 16 says, big up to you too. And I hope you're enjoying the festive period. Victor Angayere said, yes, I agree. We need an attacking midfielder. The biggest problem we have had, in my view, is the link between midfield and attack. That final third has been a big problem. Yes, even when we have 2-8s, you think when we have 2-8s, we create more chances. That hasn't happened that much, really. Bobby, please stop. I'm not sure why he's saying Bobby, please stop. Bellingham not coming to Chelsea. Never say never, really. I get your argument limitless. I hope you're doing well, brother, and you're enjoying the festive period. Kante, don't go. He's a great player. I don't think, again, as you've seen, there's hope that he will stay unlimitless. He says, subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you have not. Yes, people, keep liking the video. One more to get it to 70 likes, but we need to get it to at least 150 likes a day. I know we can, but it all depends on you. We had a vote out, and we had about 60 something of votes, a poll out. So at that time, we had around 20 likes, which just doesn't make any sort of sense. But keep liking the video, guys. Thank you so much for all the support. Yes, Kante contract renewal. Let that happen as soon as possible. How much is Rice worth? There's no telling. His contract is winding down. And in the summer, I think it comes cheaper than what we've been hearing in the past. If we try to get him this January, that's when he's going to be really, really expensive. And I think even in June, I think they have an option to extend his contract. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure. I'm not well acquainted with his contract structure. I think Chelsea should look at that Moroccan team. There are a lot of very good players there. There's Amrabat, there's Onahi, the guy that's been mentioned, but Amrabat, if we're looking for a physical, again, good tackler, the deep line midfielder, I think is a good option there, especially the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper is excellent. Even the Saudi was excellent during the World Cup. The Saudi goalkeeper was also excellent. Medical department need total investigation. Something needs to be done. Again, you're one of those gang members in the medical department. Bole has already sacked half of the team. He's changed quite a lot, and at one point brought in somebody at an expatriate level. So yeah, that's again Nostradamus at Thai Talks. Yeah, half meaning again the head medical director. Yeah, okay. That Broya scream when he got injured made me feel sick. I didn't see that. What game was that really? During the
It was
friendly, wasn't it?
Aston
Yeah,
Villa.
I didn't watch that game. I have to be honest. That's people simple forever. Yeah, they're just campaigning for her to come back. At the World Cup, Rice and Enzo played in the last World Cup. The same player played the same role for their country. One of the players is wanted worldwide. Enzo is better than Rice. I'm not going to go into that argument, really. I'm not. I'm not willing to get into that fight. I'm being honest here. Liam Lane says, please like and subscribe when you enter. If you have not, as it helps us trying to reach a wider audience. We're at 71 likes right now, but we should at least be at 80. That is if you keep liking the video. Again, I appreciate that. If you took a second to participate in the poll, you can do the same for the likes to help us reach more people. Big up to you too, Francis Winters. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining the show. Kante new contract, definitely. He's a world-class player. Again, he's a winner. Doesn't talk too much. Let's, again, what he does on the pitch, do the speaking for him. Once Enzo gets here, I think Gallagher is out here. We're not sure who's going to leave, really. Speak, Bobby, speak. That is him enjoying whatever you said then. I'm not sure what exactly. We'll move on from this one. Then we'll talk about Enzo Fernandez himself is still conflicting. The reports out there say very conflicting. Chelsea made a proposal on the day of the Bournemouth game. Personal terms discussed. Georgie Mendes wants him in England. Deal very hard to do with Benfica. Alternatives being considered. I think we've gone beyond this. This was on the 29th. At this point, I think we've gone beyond this one, really. Let me see if he has an update here. I'm not going to go there because there are other updates. This one here says Enzo from Simon Phillips. Enzo Fernandez is inclined to leave Benfica in January and accept a Chelsea's proposal. That is huge. More importantly, him winning again, being inclined to accept Chelsea's proposal. That's a plus. I'm not going to say that reduces the price tag because if we want him this January, we have to pay the release clause. And here's again the transfer guru himself saying Chelsea are now in direct talks with Benfica for Enzo Fernandez. Chelsea want to offer a huge fee instead of paying release clause in one solution. So that's something we already talked about. Chelsea are willing to pay more, but that means again paying more, but that means we'll have to break down the payment. We're not going to pay them in the bulk, which is how we got Nkunku. And if you're watching just quickly, if you're using all caps, the Nightbot is a machine. It's not a human. It's not a human being. It's going to delete your entries. It's not a human being. I think it's a Nightbot there saying Fabrizio Romano, I can do this all day because it's a machine. So don't use all caps or don't use more than 3 emojis. Otherwise, it would delete your message. So again, Benfica always asked a full 120 million euros clause. Understand that Enzo already said yes to Chelsea Football Club. That is a really huge. Let me start with you since that's the way we're lined up here. Hakeem, do you want to talk about that? Have you seen anything else since this report from Fabrizio Romano? Do you think there's a possibility we'll sign him? Because again, we're still negotiating. Some are saying there are some people actually saying it's done already, that it's finished. But your thoughts on that news, Hakeem, if you're there. If not, I'll move to Bobby. Okay, it doesn't look like Hakeem is. It doesn't look like Hakeem is there. How about you, Bobby? Your thoughts? Do you think we're going to get this over the line? Some outlets, some people are saying it's done. Some are saying it's closed. From Fabrizio Romano himself, he says again, we're still talking. Direct talks with Benfica. The player has already said yes. Does it look like a deal we can get over the line, or you're still doubt? It's still far fetched, if you want to say it that way.
Well, one thing that's clear to me that it's a deal that is in progress. There's definite interest. There wouldn't be all this noise if there wasn't. I would have preferred it to be quiet, but with after what Enzo Fernandez did in the World Cup, it's impossible to keep this sort of thing quiet. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. If you listen to the director of, is it Sporting that he plays for?
Benfica.
Benfica, yeah. He was saying, look, that they don't want him to go, but, they will consider it if the release clause is met. Well, if rumors or if the news we're getting is to believe, you can say that the release clause has been met. Only the terms of payment is not a lump sum. It's a payment that will go over the release clause. Is that acceptable to Benfica? Possibly. It's not a bad deal because even if they wait to the summer, how many people are going to drop that lump sum for Enzo? I don't think there are many. And what's the interest of everybody for Enzo? Yeah, he's a good player, but a lot of these people that can, or clubs that can afford him, have midfielders already, excellent midfielders.
And some have spent so much that spending that much money, cost lead to a lot of trouble, them breaking the FFP rule. But go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Real Madrid, is there space for an Enzo Fernandez when you've got Tchouaméni, you've got Camavinga? I'm not sure. Man City, well, you can say maybe Bruno Fernandez if he goes to Barcelona. Would there be room for him? They have a lot. There's always a possibility for an excellent player that will add to you. But the club that really, really makes sense for him, and this is without my Chelsea tinted glasses on, is indeed Chelsea. That's why I think he's already agreed to join the club.
Mhm.
I think it's very much a watch this space, isn't it? You know, we're not yet in January. A lot of things could have happened already. Maybe that's why some people are saying it's done, because nobody is really going to announce anything until January. And effectively, Chelsea have 2 weeks, 2 weeks to get these deals done for it to make any sense. I know there are 4 weeks in January, but if you're serious, you get your stuff done in the first 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
I'm hopeful, I'm hopeful. It's a big deal, but we're due a big deal or two or three. So
Very
we
greedy.
can be hopeful. Yeah, to me, success is limitless. I don't have any um, restrictions as to what we should do to succeed because I know we need to do a lot. Clubs have really stolen a march on the player front, on the success front. As I've said, Man City, look at their squad. Newcastle building a formidable squad. Arsenal, they've got a squad and they're still rebuilding. Liverpool, for all it's worth, they're quietly still rebuilding. So we can't mess around. We've fallen back quite a bit. So to catch up, we've got to take some big gulps, and this is one of them. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Yep, to catch up, we do really need to spend no stories again. That's just the truth. If we're being honest, let's catch up. Let me catch up with what we have in the chat, and we'll move on from the topic. Quite a lot lined up to talk because I got lots of update, some positive update. So stay tuned. We'll talk about it in a bit regarding Enzo Fernandez. It's looking really good. It's not an argument, but facts. Here's the thing. It's still an argument. And we again, argument is where you learn from. I could be wrong, you could be right, and I'll learn from you. Maybe you're wrong, and if I find out if I say something and you present your own response, and if I find out I'm wrong, I'll learn from you. It's still an argument as long as we don't agree. Again, it's still some argument. It's not a fight. It's just I'm opposing what you're saying. You're opposing what I'm saying, either with the fact, a fact again that maybe something about what I said is wrong. I don't know how else to put it. To again, maybe I hope you're not. I'm not coming across as again throwing whatever you're saying out of the window. No, I learned quite a lot from those in the chat. I hope I'm making some sense here. Mason Mount should be sold to Everton. Yeah, for says Fabrizio Bromano. Well, yeah, it's Bromano there. I like the construct of the name. Yeah, and probably your argument would be sell it to where his father is. Yeah, I know. I sense that. Um, Mother's Community, I love that name by the way. Says Gallagher. It's not at the Chelsea level yet, but he might be a De
No,
Bruyne in the next.
no,
I don't see him being a De Bruyne.
no.
He's a different type of player. If anything, he'd be a Lampard in the future, or again, at this moment, he will become Mount soon. Maybe then gradually become a Lampard type of player in 4 years, though, and we will be kicking ourselves again. That is the problem of getting a lot of these good players. There's a chance we might not even let him go, but let's see what happens. I sent you an update. I have all the updates with me, and we will talk about those in a bit. Bruno Camasro says, bro, check their Squeaker stats on Squeaker. Actually, Enzo and Rice would add up perfectly in the midfield. I'm not a Rice fan. Moises Caicedo would also be decent if Rice wouldn't come.
No.
If you want proper protection for your defense, as much as I don't like Rice that much, Rice is the
Yeah, it's
man.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Caicedo is a roaming. It's a roaming
Yeah.
midfielder. It's not like
Yeah.
a disciplined DM like Rice would be. Okay.
Yeah, very correct. Casado is more of a box-to-box midfielder. Rice is that again. If you want discipline, if you want somebody that will protect the defense very well, Rice is the man. But if you want a more mobile midfielder, then Casado is the man. The two different profile of players. If anything, both can play together in a
Yes.
double pivot role. And then Casado will fulfill the Kovacic hybrid role of 6 and 8. It's not a bad deal at all. So again, and I'm not concerned. Coach, big up, mate. Happy New Year. Good news on the signing of Enzo Fernandez. Hope he does well for us. I hope so. Have we signed him already, Dan? You know, you always tell us your mate. Yeah, your mate just called. But I love Dan so much. But more importantly, Dan, I hope you're doing well. I haven't heard from you in a while. I hope you're coping with the passing of your cousin. Please let me know how you're doing. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I can read that comment in Dan's voice as well in my head.
You can see him saying, I spoke with my mate. My mate just called me, telling me that, you're very correct. I love how Dan talks when he's on the panel, especially if we're talking transfers. Hit the like button, people, and subscribe to the channel. Says Taboho, my brother from the Madiba land. Nice to see you here. I hope you're doing well. Quite a lot lined up. Oh my gosh. I hope we're going to be able to finish in time. Let's see. You get the serious transfers done as soon as possible, as Bobby argues. 25 more likes to get it to 100, says my brother from the Madiba land. Please, let's get it there as soon as possible. Thank you so much, guys. I think we have a verbal agreement with Benfica. Can anyone confirm that? I'm seeing that. I have that. Liam Lane already sent me that, and I'll bring that up soon. But
yeah, I'm seeing that. I saw that earlier this morning, but I was waiting for further validation.
Yeah, from the more reputable sources, right?
Yeah, but it's likely. It's quite likely, and I hope it's true.
Yeah, I hope it's true too. And it's very possible because the smoke is too much to say anything is a lie at this point. Enzo Fernandez to Chelsea will be hard, but it's worth it when you compare our midfield to him. You can argue that Romano, I love that name really. So I'm going to scroll quite a lot. If we acquire Enzo, do you see J5 or Kante leaving? I'm not sure what's going to happen because Enzo is not a J5 type of player. As bad as J5 is to some people's eyes, as much as I know he's not the best, he still does something very unique. His ability to control the game, the tempo of the game and all that makes him very unique because he was, again, traditionally a regista before anything. If we acquire Enzo, I've seen that. Let's see anything else here. Gallagher wants a starting role or he's gone. Yeah, which, again, let's see. Let's see what happens. If we get too many midfielders and we have depth and he's still there and the starting role is never going to happen, just let him go. Let's not be selfish about that. Here, Sam, nice to see you, Sam. That's Sam. Sam must be an Igbo man. Seeing the picture of, what's his name, Carlo. I wouldn't, the Igbo man also fighting for the independence of Igbo people there in his front. So you must be an Igbo man there, I guess. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let's see. Somebody said to sell Mount. Oga, please don't go there. There's the word sell and mount should not be used in the same sentence. Again, everybody, we're all entitled to our opinion, so let him speak. I would love to see Enzo Mount and healthy Kante in the midfield. Okay. Kishan, let me see this conversation between people. Kova also reconsidering his future. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, but let's see what happens. I hope we'll keep him. Taboho, somebody saying, talking to Taboho, Chelsea should give Kante 5 years. Yeah, maybe. I think that's 10 will be good. I think 10 will be all right.
Yeah.
Or what do you think, Rodrigo? How about 12?
How about 12? Yeah.
The longer we keep him, the better, really. For being honest. Jorginho should what? I don't know. Taboho, Benfica agreed to negotiate with Chelsea for Enzo. Okay, Benfica, who at first were reluctant to part with the Argentine midfielder. I think them saying they don't want to sell him was just, again, not to, to get the most they can from the sale of the player. They probably knew, again, before time he was going to leave after the World Cup. New update. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's move on with what we have. Let me see what else we have here next. We've talked about Enzo. We're still on Enzo Fernandez. Some updates here I want to show you in a bit. Your thoughts, Hakeem, if you're still there, any updates? Again, anything you want to say regarding the news that we just talked about the developments we talked about regarding Enzo Fernandez?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I just
Hello?
muted it because we were hearing. Yeah, we can hear you. I had to mute you because we were hearing the baby present his or her case there.
Yeah. For me, the issue of Enzo Fernandez, I don't have anything to say because it has been around for about I think beginning of in the middle of this month. The only thing I can say is the news will still be coming day in day out. Everybody, I think, just for clickbait, so people will just be posting about it. Till I see that with everything is finalized, I don't. I'm sure I know that the Chelsea representatives have gone to Portugal, and the only thing that I'm sure about is I'm not sure they're going to match that release clause. They'll try to bring it down or
no, they can't bring it down. They will pay more actually. The plan is to pay more, but pay again in batches. If you're following the story.
For me, yeah, I know. This is what I'm saying. But I don't think I can like the stories that I've seen. I can rely on those sources. And also, people also have to understand, like Benfica is bluffing. Teams like Benfica, they are not in. They are not in this competition to win Champions League or to expect anything like beyond their expectation. And they put which that should show you how they value the player. And most Benfica, I disagree with it. I think they are just in this for business sake. They are in this, and there's no way they are.
I think you have to, Hakeem. I think you have to go out and come back in. Your connection is really it's really poor. The sound again, it's breaking up really badly. Just quickly, we'll catch up with other stuff we have here, and then we'll look at some other you could say update contributions from people there. So Hakeem, please go out and come back in. Maybe that will fix your connection issue because it's really poor here. Once you can hear this one, this update here says Chelsea and Benfica are already negotiating the forms and structure around the offer of 127 million euros for Enzo Fernandez. The fixed amount, bonuses and forms of the payment must be established first before anything else, which would know Chelsea are willing to pay more than that, but has to pay again in batches, not in the to go. For January, Chelsea are looking to sign a new centre back. I shouldn't be reading this right now, but I'll come back to this in a bit. We're still on Enzo, so we're not going from one topic to the other. It can be irritating and maybe it can tire you out actually, because as the brain wants to put everything together. Just 1 second. Chelsea and Benfica has a verbal agreement for Enzo Fernandez. Fee is around 120 million euros plus performance related add-ons that take it to 130 million. Still, specifications of the performance related add-ons and structure of payment yet to be fully agreed, but blanket fee agreed. This sounds like it's pretty much done. What do you think, Bobby? Rodrigo, you can go ahead and look at that.
Yeah.
Bobby must probably be at work. So yeah.
This guy is just a Chelsea fan. I wonder where he got this. He didn't tag in the journalist that came out with this.
Sorry, Coach. I've been trying to unmute. Sorry, guys.
Okay, Rodrigo, I'll come back to you in a bit. This is saying again that we have an agreement, verbal agreement. All that is left is the structure of the add-ons. What do you think? We haven't seen it, like you said. We haven't seen anything from a reputable, again, the more reputable or established sources. Like Rodrigo said, this guy is just a Chelsea fan. It's not tagging anybody. So your thoughts is it? Do you think we should? But again, one thing is this: there's so much smoke. It's hard to say. Okay, I don't believe it. But what are your thoughts, Bobby?
Well, my thought is ultimately, you never really accept anything until you see the player holding up the Chelsea shirt, you know, in at Cobham or at the stadium. Yeah, that's. I mean, I don't have any more thoughts on that. I hope it's true, but we really have to wait and see. One that seems to have because this is such a big, you know, signing, but we seem to forget that the Badiashile signing is almost done, if not done, and we can hope to even have an announcement on that as soon as it turns January.
Two things we're waiting on here. The medical. We're waiting for what's his name, Santos, to complete his medical. He was supposed to have arrived to London yesterday, but the show was saying we're hearing it is closed, really close. So again, that's quite a lot of signing this January. I didn't know we were going to sign that many players this January. I was thinking at least maximum of 2, but look how many we signed already. I would love to see Kante and Enzo. We talked about that. Wally Walder says they've only Rodrigo. I'll come back to you in a bit. Sorry about that. They've only just got him. So I see why Benfica were reluctant. Not again. The reluctance for me is about getting more money because they probably know he was going to leave them. Probably in January, if not sometime again. So if not in the summer. So yeah, I get it. I understand. The reluctance wasn't because he just joined them. It happens to a lot of clubs who you could say who are at the level that Benfica is right now. They're not the biggest club in Europe. Not disrespected them, but in Portugal they're one of the biggest. Solomon's, you're cooking. Let's see what we have here. And Coach Enzo Fernandez is 48K per week. That's at Benfica. Joining Chelsea, I think it's been asking quite a lot. Probably 3 times that, really, if we're being honest. Then Chelsea are willing. Yeah.
About Badiashile, I want to ask, like, are they putting Malangsa in the deal, or is just we are buying him cash? Because Malangsa is in Monaco, and their last game they didn't play Badiashile. Malangsa played started for them at his position. So I want to know if you have any knowledge about that. Is he part of the deal, or is just is Malangsa part of the deal, or they are just is just like a like cash and carry, like without any player?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but that's a good observation, really. That's a chance Chelsea will be looking to say, okay, again, Malangsa is with you. Again, he's on loan at your club with an option to buy. So there's a chance they factor that into it. Besides, they have to pay money to keep Sa. And the last game they played, Badiashile, oh my God, was on the bench. And what, Badiashile, right?
Yeah.
That's how I think it should. That's how I think it should be pronounced.
Yeah, he's African. There's no Shile here. It's Badiashile.
Yeah, exactly. And if you tell me it's Shield, what's the E doing there? But that's by the way. Yeah. Here's the thing. There's a chance again. We factor that into the deal, but we don't know. But like I said, I think that's a good observation, really. But we'll find again. We haven't heard anything about Malangsa being factored into the deal, but we'll see. But he's a natural replacement for Badiashile there, if you ask me. And again, Chelsea are willing to offer him 4 times that price, says Taberho. So I believe you. I believe you, really. So that's on its own. It's enticing. Mohamed Dek Abdi, it's been a while. I hope you're doing well, brother. Please do let us know. I think Enzo is Jorginho replacement. If he replaces Jorginho in terms of number, yes, but he will not replace Jorginho in terms of what Jorginho brings to the team. Enzo is different, more attacking minded than anything. I think Gallagher still needs his game developed. I don't think he's a first 11 kind of player yet, but I also don't think he should be sold or loaned out again. He can stay again, and again he will be gradually integrated into the team. But we'll see. Everywhere Enzo goes, he proves people wrong, because I was doing my research. Oh, good. I like that. 127 million. Yeah, and the other thing you said I don't want to say the name of the Lord in vain. Yeah, I get the argument.
So you're buying Jesus
Man.
for 127 million. Okay.
I think everybody will love Enzo to play Chelsea, but it's just the price tag is too much. The price tag is crazy.
No, yeah, but
Like
here's the
that,
thing: we can't do otherwise. If we want him now, you have to pay the price. And
Yeah.
and
I don't
I
have
think we're
issue.
just
I don't
being.
have.
Go ahead.
I don't really have issue with the price if the team are going to pay that amount. But
Mm.
it's just that Chelsea supporters are just like they are just going crazy on the price. And yeah, but for me,
I,
if the board is willing to pay that amount, and yeah, for me, I have no problem about it.
I think we're just being proactive here. I think the club are sensing if we leave him again for the summer, other clubs will be interested. After balancing their books, we'll have a lot more clubs interested
Isn't
in the
it?
player. Sorry?
No, sorry, Karen.
Yeah, plus then there's a chance we might not have Champions League football. So now is the time. And because we want him now, and Benfica clearly says if you want him now, the release clause is the only option. And we're actually going to pay more than the release clause. So yeah, again, but this is hilarious, really. Enzo is a good midfielder. He is an excellent midfielder. That's euros. It's around 120 million pounds. That's still quite a lot. But I thank you for doing the mathematics for us, or the calculation for us. Let's be honest, like 70 million player plus a 40 million World Cup. World Cup tax. I think it was him. It was Glenn that broke it down instead of saying that again. We're paying World Cup tax. Really, the hype. You could say again that bumps up the price quite a lot. Let me try and catch up quickly. Enzo is overrated. He's an average player, says Frank. Among bad, we'll see. I don't think he's overrated. I think he's a good player. If anything, I'm only concerned about how much we're paying. New update from Absolute Chelsea 2. Okay, Frank, let's see. We shall see. Indeed, Glenn, besides the World Cup, his country ends. What?
Contract.
Okay, contract. Okay, he meant contract ends in
I don't think
2027.
I don't think Argentina as a country is gonna end.
No, here's the thing. Smartphones are not that smart after all. Sometimes they think they know what you're thinking. And because, again, it happens to everyone. Boom, you already sent it, and you cannot delete it. But that's, by the way, if you watched Benfica in Champions League, Enzo been playing good before the World Cup. That's the truth. But the price went up nearly twice as much after the World Cup. It's as simple as that. They knew.
The young player.
Yeah, go ahead.
The day won the trophy, young player of the tournament. That day's price tag literally quadrupled. That trophy he won.
Yeah, plus he's a World Cup winner. So let's just start talking about. Yeah, you're very correct, Rodrigo.
Yeah, but even before that, like River Plate, like he was playing really good. Imagine Benfica will buy a player like 12 million euros from River Plate. That should tell you how good
he's been. Yeah.
And how it's been. So for me, it's not about the World Cup. Yeah, I know him because of the World Cup, but then when you put everything together, it makes sense. The hype makes sense.
Yeah, I saw him in the Champions League. I was impressed, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch some Benfica again," because I'm quite fortunate enough to be able to watch a lot of the football. And then I watched Benfica. I watched quite a few Benfica again because I was impressed with how Benfica plays. And he's a good player. And one thing, Benfica, the games I watched, he was playing deeper. He wasn't playing advanced.
Yeah, at the World Cup, right? He played deep. So the question is, why do you think we're signing him to play deep? I don't think so. It was because it wouldn't make any sort of sense.
No, I think Kovacic will play deeper, and then he'll play with Kovacic.
I wouldn't play Kovacic deeper, really.
Yeah.
And that again, you forget about protection for your defense if you play Kovacic deep. You know that, really.
So, what about Santos? Do you think Santos will come in and just fit in the first team, or they'll let him go to what is the name for a loan, or do you think he's going to have issues with his work permit? I was hearing that he's going to face some challenges because of the work permit.
Yeah,
so I don't know if
it depends on Chelsea. The work permit is nothing. I think the work permit can be done because Chelsea can show that. All he has to show is that he has a contract to work in the UK, and then that's that. I'm not worried about that, to be honest. I think Watson is gonna go straight to the development squad, and then from there, if he's good
He's
enough,
still
he'll
18.
come in. He's only 18. Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead. The fact that he's still 18, which means he can count as an again, he can be registered. I forgot. I don't. The rule is so complex, man.
Like a home.
Yeah, like a homegrown. I think that's the way we would approach it. He counts as one of the again as a young player or so, an academy player. I'm not sure the term for it, but I think if he lives on loan, then it must again the whole thing must be the issue will most likely be due to work permit because we're lacking in that area. We need numbers in that area, and it's good enough to do well for us. Again, that's no difference on the case of Dacho Fofana. I think the club would want to keep him if they can get work permit for him because Abroya is out, and Havertz isn't a traditional number 9. Where if we want to play with somebody, and Dacho also is not a traditional. He's well equipped to be a hybrid 9. He can play in a fluid front 3. He's that good on the ball and everything. We looked at his statistics yesterday. We saw again it's his output. Chance creation too was high, and all that, but. That's, by the way, in the case of Santos, it comes down whether he gets a work permit or whether there's his age. Again, it makes a difference. I'm not sure. But from what we've read, the club is not looking to loan him out now. They'll bring him in and then they'll take time to decide. That's what I learned. Josie, again, Abo, this name, I think I know this name quite well. Definitely Nigerian, either from Benue or Enugu State. Enugu State, to be precise. Amechi Konano on Kano to be again, any of that, let me know where you're from. I really want to know if I got that correctly. J5 cover should leave Chelsea. I don't like their playing style. We need Enzo and Kante. That's you. Let's see. Cover, I want Cover to start, to stay at the club, even though he doesn't score too many goals, doesn't create too many chances. But at least, again, we play, no matter how deep opposition play, because Cover is on the pitch, really. If we'll be honest, yes, people hit the like button. We need about 9 more likes to get it to 100. We're shooting for 150 likes a day, and I know we can get there, but only if you think we can. Please keep liking the stream. We should actually be having 200, 300 likes. The poll that I put up about how many minutes ago, 41 minutes ago, which asks, what are you for? Let Kante go. He's finished 8%. Keep Kante. It makes us better. 92% of 83 votes. So a lot of, majority of Chelsea fans actually does want Kante to stay. They love him that much. And I think the owners must have learned that. Limitless, saying hello to Limitless there. We need players who can beat Man City, Liverpool, Man United. What we need is a team that can beat them, not players who can beat them. If anything, players who can make us better. Let Kante go. David Gichohi, if that's what you think. Let's see what we have here. Again, I hope you just saying hello to people. And to my brother, Bobby Fairview, he says, big up Kuchila, bless up the panel. Just getting up to see this news. Have we figured out if it's a bullet payment? I don't get the application of this FFP rules. Here's the thing. Let me explain what what I've learned from the situation so far. We're trying to use the approach that we use to get in Nkunku, paying more than again the buyout clause, but paying in batches, not paying in bulk. Because usually the buyout clause means you pay the whole thing, if not at the same time immediately, or again you pay. They give you time. This is you agree at the time where. Again, you're going to pay everything. But in our case, we're trying to give them, this is when we'll be able to pay it this way, again, in batches. So that's what we know, to avoid FFP and also to be able to balance the book gradually so that we don't get into trouble. That's what I understand so far from the situation. That's the right price for, again, an imagined youngster. Bob, you wanted to say something?
I was going to say, why I feel slightly optimistic about this deal is that it's rare for any transfer deal to go for a lump sum payment like that. I know it happens, but it's rare. To my knowledge, most transfer deals are sort of partial payments. And if you're going to partially overpay, in an already inflated market anyway. I think that should be quite a favourable deal for Benfica.
Yeah. Glenn says the man I was looking forward to disbanding Argentina in 20. Tabaho, Glenn is making fun of your typo. This is hilarious, really. Yeah, again, yeah, he knew. Again, I'm sure he quite well knows I thought it was a typo, but he's just playing with you. Seriously, our medical department needs to be fired. Okay, that's what you think, Prince. Let me see. Oh, anything else here? Yeah. Tabaho, go talk to Todd Bowley. Your name, pronouncing it correctly, will take a while, but I'm getting there. Go talk with him, let him know what's going on. Frank Moppa said, if you only watch World Cup, Ziyech should be of 120 million too. Yeah, it makes sense. If we're basing again on players, again the price tag of a player on their World Cup performance, yeah, Ziyech is again a transfer price will be very high. Let's see. Will Chelsea play Santos for senior team or junior? We're not sure what's going to happen, but we'll keep an eye on that. Okay, that's it at the moment. I'm going to scroll past quite a lot. Go ahead.
No, to answer Glenn, yes, it is.
He's going to play for what?
Yeah, UEFA have changed the rules. In the past, if you've already played for a team and you get transferred, you won't be able to play in the Champions League, but they've changed that rule. So if he comes to us, he will be able to play in the Champions League.
Seriously, that was one of the rules that doesn't make sense. Sometimes, some of the rules that I see in football, like logically, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I ask myself, maybe these people, they are not football people, because some of the rules, it doesn't make sense, especially at FIFA, the naturalization, some of the naturalization rules doesn't make sense. And also in UEFA, some of their rules doesn't make sense. So I'm glad that they took that rules away.
Yeah. Again, Choma, yourself, good day, Kuchula and Pane. Good day to you too, Choma. How have you been? It's been a while. I hope you enjoyed your Christmas and you're enjoying the festive period. And again, I recall you telling us you had the dreaded C word. I hope you've recovered fully. Again, we did pray for you. We talked about it here. Again, thank you so much, and nice to see you back, Choma. Again, God bless you, and thank you for finding the time to join the show. And here we have Josie Agbo saying, I am from Benue State, Kachila.
Wow.
You are correct. Yes, I got that. That's my brother right there. Again, everyone else, again, you're all my brother. We're family here. We're a community. Love is what keeps us growing, keeps the Chelsea Perspective community growing. Thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate that. And just 1 second, I want to take care of something here quickly. Again, that's great. Bring on Dortmund. Okay, let's see what happens. No Argentina player made a big success at Chelsea. Crespo, how well did Crespo do?
Crespo, he was good, but he was homesick. He was good, but he really wanted to play in Italy. He was good for us. He wasn't really a flop.
Where did he go out on loan for? Then came back and scored that beautiful goal against Wigan.
AC Milan. I think AC Milan.
I think it was Inter. Wasn't it Inter?
It was Inter. Oh my God, I'm getting confused.
I'm not sure either.
He was one of the Milan. I think it
was one. Yeah, let's just say one of the Milans. Yeah. If you're watching, we need just 6 more likes to get it to 100 likes. People, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Crespo, was it that bad at Chelsea, really?
No.
When he returned on loan, that we beat Wigan 1-0 at Stamford Bridge, he scored the lone goal, and it was a delicious goal. I remember that quite well.
Away. It was.
Was it away?
It was a DW Stadium at Wigan. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it was away.
It was in the last minute. I remember that because.
But I will never forget that goal. Really.
They parked the bus for so long, and then we scored toward the end of the game. Yeah.
Did you see his celebration after that goal?
Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah. So again, Crespo didn't do that badly. I think he was homesick, like Rodrigo said. One more player that comes to mind is Veron. Veron played for us, right?
Yeah, he was rubbish. Waste of money.
There's one kid also. How did I forget his name?
DeSanto.
Yes.
Franco
What's his
DeSanto.
first name again?
Franco DeSanto.
Franco DeSanto.
I
He
was
was
so
so much expectation from him
But
when he was at the academy. We were thinking he was going to break into the first team. He was going to just be one of the best in the whole world. It didn't happen.
it didn't happen, coach. He had Anelka and Drogba ahead of him. Come on, there's no way.
But even at that, again, was he that good really? Why wasn't he able to achieve that when he wasn't able to achieve at Chelsea and other clubs?
He wasn't your typical Argentinian. You know how your typical look at Alvarez, you look at Aguero, Messi, this short player, good with the feet. He was just a tall, lanky kid. Not really your typical South American with flair. So that's that.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing. Frank Lampard. Let's say this. Now, all those players we've had, none of them, was an played in an attacking role for us in terms of playing like a central attacking midfielder. Let's say Enzo is different because he's an attacking midfielder. So don't jinx it, please.
Yeah. Is it Frank Mountbath? Is that him?
Lampard. I like it. Frank Lampard. I think this is a construct, another variation of Frank Lampard's name, and I love it really. but yeah, good comment there. Please like and subscribe when you enter. If you've not, actually helps the channel reach a wider audience. Oh my goodness, you guys are absolute legend. Much love here. We just jumped from 96 to 103 likes. I cannot thank you guys enough. We keep growing, people, and I think we'll do a giveaway for New Year. I don't know how much, but I'll figure that out before that day. Maybe we'll do it on the 2nd or on the New Year day proper. Yes, people, keep liking the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Enzo, Rice, Bellingham, who's better? Obviously, not Enzo. These are three different type of players. Enzo plays differently. Rice plays differently. Bellingham plays differently. Enzo is an attacking midfielder traditionally. Rice is the defensive midfielder traditionally. Bellingham is box to box, if anything else. And skills-wise, Bellingham cannot measure Enzo, if we're being honest. As much as good as he is. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rodrigo.
What, Bellingham skill-wise?
Yeah. Do you think he's measure Enzo?
No. No. But I don't know, Bellingham. I don't know. The thing with Bellingham is maybe he gives you more goals. I don't know.
Isn't he more of box to box than he is an attacking midfielder?
I think it would be a waste to play Bellingham deeper. That's just a waste of his talent.
Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah, playing the deep doesn't make any sort of sense because he gets into the box too and can also create chances. But he's not an attacking midfielder for me. I see him more of a box to box midfielder.
Even a 10. He can even play as a 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I didn't know he could play as a 10. Akim, you were saying something?
Let me tell you something. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, RLC, the expectation that I was expecting from him, like when I'm looking at Bellingham, he is like, this is what I was thinking Ruben is going to be, what Bellingham is today. That was the kind of expectation that I had for him, but it turned out to disappoint everyone.
And really, if we're being honest, since we're talking about Ruben, before we go into other topics we have lined up here, why do you think Ruben actually what do you think? Why do you think he hasn't reached that the level we think he'd reach?
For me, I think it comes down to laziness. I think it's
really
for me. I think I think it's come down to laziness because when you look at him, like he gas out easily in football, and he doesn't. He's not sure of himself. Sometimes I watched him really well. He hides behind players. He doesn't go for passes. He's not confident about himself, and he's also not confident on his fitness. I've played football before, and when I'm fit, I feel like I can play any position. I feel like I can run all over. He doesn't have that confidence in him. He doesn't have fitness confidence. He's like, I don't know. But
Akim, are you sure you're gonna go to heaven? You're not being nice to him, really.
I think he's actually right.
Laziness. I'm not sure his problem is laziness, but I'll let you finish. Hakim?
No, of course. That is when we say laziness. That is the definition of laziness. If you are not willing to use your potential, like your he has some special attributes and he's not using it in full potential. So of course I'm going to classify it as laziness. And what is the name? Like, this is the player that I was having issue with my friends with. Like, I was supporting him. Sometimes I tune in into Chelsea, like just to look at him because of how excited he was. But then after the injury, we've seen players who gone from Kante goes to injury and comes back and score goals. And he at his age, he goes back to injury, and that was it. And that was one. And okay, we've given him chance over chance for him to prove himself. And for me, I feel like he's getting worse. And this is the player that we have to catch in now and then, forget about him. Enough of the time. Like, he has gotten his chance and he has blown it out.
Just quickly, Hakim, if you don't mind, are you Ghanaian?
Yeah, I'm a Ghanaian.
Yeah, I know my brothers. I know my Ghanaian brothers, and I'm sure you know how I got to know your Ghanaian. Your pronunciation of work, I love that. That's by the way. Again, Crespo is good, but cannot say big success. I'm not saying he was successful at Chelsea, but he was one of the best finishers during his time. For being honest, Haaland, tall, lanky git. This throwback is amazing. Again, so to speak. Now Haaland. Yeah, it is. Again, Veron is this rubbish. Rodrigo, your fault, because if they're judging Frank Lampard, you'll be judged too. You started the rubbish thing. Manchester United, the signed to
I don't know why
another nightmare number 9. Again, the signed to he didn't really do well actually. I get the argument from Rodrigo that we had and Nelka and did the job, but then new gamer. Our real hero is joined at Chelsea. I'm not sure. Can you elaborate? Ruben too slow as well. Here's the thing. My argument for Ruben is, if anything, I think his versatility is one of his biggest. Again, has been detrimental to him establishing himself again as one of the starters at Chelsea. He's played deep. He's played the right wing back position. He's played it, but of all those positions he's played in, he's played better as an 8 under Mauricio Sarri. Got some goals, got some assists. Again, he's one player you can muscle up the ball. He has good vision too. Again, good passes in him. Played right wing back position. That's the second best position he's played. I think we're not judging him fairly. I wouldn't count any time he played as one of the 2-6s. Even one of the days that he played there and did very well, I wouldn't look at them and say, I wouldn't count those. I will only count the right wing back position, which is a hybrid role. Him dropping in to overload the midfield or the attacking area. He loved to play there. He did well against Real Madrid, some other games where he played there and all that. But playing him centrally and as deep as Thomas Tuchel did sometimes is actually suicidal. He can't read the game that well. Yes, he can catch up to you. He's quick enough to catch up with you in most cases and stop you from doing damage. But I wouldn't say he's a lazy player, really. I think he's been quite unlucky, and you can say his versatility is one of the reasons why he hasn't established himself that well. But I get your argument. Let's move on. Rodrigo, I don't know if you wanted to say something else.
Yeah, I was just trying to say about this. I understand what Akim means by laziness sometimes. I feel like you need to, when you watch him play, it's like he's playing at 80% or 90%. He just needs to explode more. And in games that he does, it looks really good. The issue with him as well, I think he lacks confidence sometimes. His last ball, his decision making in the final third, sometimes lack. I think it's just due to confidence.
Do you think it's over for him at Chelsea?
I'll keep him because he's as a squad player. He's one of those players. I think he's happy to be around. He'll play multiple positions and he's a good squad player. So I'll still keep him.
I'm going to say this. I understand the argument of everyone in the chat, those on the panel too. This is one player, if Pep Guardiola gets him, he's going to turn him into something special. because it's his kind of play. He likes to keep it on the carpet in most cases. Again, I don't know. I think we see things differently. I think there's a good player in him. We need to just to play him closer to the final thought. This guy is not a wing back. It's not a deep lying midfielder. Yeah. And if you're being honest, Hakeem, this guy is better than any of those guys that have played when we play 2-8s, usually again around the 3-4-2-1 or so. When we play 2-8s, he's better than all the players that played in that 8 role. He can fulfill that better than them because he has more vision, better than some of them. And why Thomas Tuchel didn't even try him there, I don't know really. But go ahead, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I said, of course, like I've seen him play before. I'm not doubting his ability. Like we've all seen him play before, especially under Sarri, and he looks like he was a beast. And then everything changes. You watch him, like even if you watch Jorginho's body language, whenever he and Jorginho are playing the midfield, sometimes it's more like Jorginho is always have to tell him what to do, and it's really frustrating. And this all comes down to what I say. Like he has a whole lot in him that he could show us, but then it's like I don't know. It's like I don't know if he's mentally tired or what. But for me, what I see
mentally tired for sitting on the bench.
No, I think he need to. So I think he need to. He needs to be more. He needs to feel. He needs to see himself as a senior player in the squad. Sometimes he looks like he's a boy. He needs to impose himself. Sometimes that's what I feel.
I think that's where I agree with you. He needs to do more. He needs to play like he's one of the senior players in the team. I think you're very correct. If we're gonna just be having him in the squad as a bit part player, I think it's better of going to Lazio because Sarri will take him anytime, any day. Go ahead, Hakeem, so I can catch up with what we have in the chat and we'll talk about other topics we have lined up.
The funny thing is, he's one of the players, apart from Terry, who break out into Chelsea first team. And most of the players, Rhys James and Mason Mount, when I was watching their interview, they were looking up to Ruben. They were like, I want to be like Ruben. They weren't even mentioning Lampard or anything because they also came through the same process that he was, and they were like, this is the player that we are looking up. And then as my brother is saying, that he has to start acting like a senior player. I don't see this is one thing that I don't also see in him.
Yeah, and again, that's what I agree with. I wouldn't say laziness, but he has to do more. I hope to see that as soon as possible. Ruben, too slow as well. Again, if you say it like that, he doesn't do enough when you think he will. And that's what I want. Not doing enough, I agree with, but I wouldn't say he's lazy. Prime Ruben Loftus-Cheek is still a joy to watch. The way he glides through the midfield or wherever he plays, his dribbles, he likes to keep it on the carpet. Again, his passes are so delicious, really. It reminds me of Dembele Sports. Again, I missed that. That was one player I regret not playing for Chelsea before he left the Premier League. How to slide past opponents. Shame it didn't really work. There's still time, really. 127 million. The Croatian defender should be better choice than Enzo. Are you talking about Vadio? That's another one. We always say that about Pep getting a player. RLC has faded and declined. I haven't given up on him. I wouldn't say that, but I get your argument. At this time, at times he played like Mikel Obi, but he lacks a vision. Ooh. Wow. Okay.
I think that's true.
Will you put a poll?
Obi Mikel.
Will you put a poll about?
Hold on. Let me get. I'm coming, Hakeem. What'd you say, Rodrigo?
He does play in terms of shielding the ball, being very good at.
In terms of protecting guarding the ball. Yeah,
he's like Obi Mikel, but one obviously is not. He doesn't have the passing range like Mikel. He doesn't have that in him yet. Because Mikel was different. No, Mikel was a different gravy.
Mikel is different. Even though again he played deeper for Chelsea, then again he would have loved to play. Thanks to Mourinho, He was actually an attacking midfielder, but we're not here to talk about that. Ruben is not slow. He's pronounced like Robin. Okay. Is that what you mean that he's pronounced like Robin? Any new signings? Not nothing new except the ones you've heard about yesterday and the day before. But that's, by the way, guys, the poll which asks what are you for? Let Kante go, only 12%, and this is 101 votes. That tells you a lot. Keep Kante, he makes us better, 88%. That's just, again, a lot of people want him to stay at the club. So we move on to the next topics that we have lined up. And if you have any questions and you're in the chat, please shoot it, and we will try to address it. We've talked about this one here. It looks like my screen is a bit frozen. I can't, come on. Okay, I can't move it. Let's see the other topics we have lined up if we've talked about any of them. Oh, yeah, it's going to be problematic in a bit. So if you're in the chat, if you have any question, please shoot it and we'll try to address it. Just quickly here, this one, let me refresh this page so they're ready to view. We can talk about them in a bit. So Rodrigo, I was going to ask you again, if we eventually, this guy gets a work permit, what's his name? Santos, where does he fit?
Well, from report, is a defensive midfielder. So, yeah, I guess we just. I think what's gonna happen is gonna go into the development squad, maybe for 6 months, and then I'll see him in preseason joining the first team, or maybe toward the end of the season.
Do you think it will be more of an approach to again for him to again for the work permit not be an issue?
I don't think the work permit will be much of an issue, to be honest. Nah, because it basically has a job, right? Chelsea will just have to prove to the government that this guy's employed here, and so on. It's not going to be too much of an issue. I think more likely is he's gonna join the team, acclimatize himself. So by playing in with the reserves and stuff, and then maybe toward the end of the season, depending on how our season is going, maybe the last few Premier League games he might come in a few minutes, but really he's gonna be integrated nicely during preseason because the kid is only 18. It's not like we're signing an 18-year-old Messi that he has to go straight in the first team. I think it'll probably be the same thing with the. Actually, with the striker we signed, he might be ahead of him just because of what we need in the squad.
And
since
the injury, yeah.
Yeah, so he might actually be needed more. But with Santos, yeah, it's good. It's good that we're signing these unknown to us. Maybe Brazil, because they say he's one of the top 3 talent coming out of Brazil now. So we've done a good thing. If you remember when Brighton signed Moses Caicedo, they signed him in I think they signed him in January, and then Graham Potter just took his time to integrate him because I think he came from South America. So I think they might do the same with this kid.
Yeah, again, even if he gets work permit, the process will always be gradual.
It'll be gradual. Yeah. We won't see him properly till next season because it's only 6 months left for the season to end. So yeah, we'll see him properly next season.
Yeah. So let's get all the. Yeah, go ahead. You were saying something.
To be honest, all the players that we are looking after, like he's one player that I'm really excited that we are able to bring to Chelsea. Santos, he's one player that I'm really excited to see him play for Chelsea.
Why is it just him?
Yeah, I think with the problem that we're having in our midfield and the history of Brazilian players playing for Chelsea, like none of them disappointed me. So he's and the price tag on him and the this thing behind his name also as the third most decent player in Brazil.
In the Brazilian league.
Third most talented youth in Brazilian league, and all of the hype. That made him it makes me have a good feelings about him, and have been a Brazilian also. if you check the track record with Brazilian players at Chelsea, I don't know, I cannot recall all of them, but the ones that comes in my head, like none of them disappointed me. Look at Diego Silva, look at um, David Luiz, look at Oscar and others. Like all of them, they
But
they
Hakim,
they did well in Chelsea.
did you know we signed a player called Alan? I think it was called Alan from Brazil.
There's Alan. There's also there's
Kennedy.
also one that went out on loan to Inter Milan.
Yeah, but about Kennedy, I think it's lack of he did himself when he went to China and made that post because
No, not even
every-
Kennedy. There's one that went on loan to Inter Milan.
Yeah. What's his name?
Is it Piazon?
Wallace.
No.
Wallace.
Wallace.
There's also
But
one
even
that didn't even play any game for Chelsea. There's also another one.
Even
Piazon.
Piazon.
There's Piazon. Piazon at least played.
He
There's
played
one. There was one that was signed at the same time as when Wallace was signed. I forgot his name, but he didn't even get to play a single game for Chelsea. I think it was just
Are you
last
talking
year or
about-
2 years ago that we let him go.
What about the player that ended up at Atlanta? We had a player that ended up at Atlanta. I don't know if he's a
At
Brazilian
Atalanta,
player.
who was that?
It wasn't Brazilian. He's Croatian. They were gonna end up at Palace.
Okay.
Oh, and he's an excellent player,
Okay.
actually. I regret us selling that player. Even before we did, I didn't want us to sell him. But probably we felt like we didn't need him at that point. But that's by the way. Let's go into all the things we have here. This is for January. Chelsea are looking to sign new centre back, a right back, a center midfield, and a forward. In the summer, they will look to follow this up with a new winger, at least one more midfielder, and a new goalkeeper. Rodrigo, are they missing anything?
Literally, I love this sort of report because you cover every area of the pitch. So if the
Well, why are you laughing? That is exactly what they've got to do and was exactly what they're going to do. What, you think Chelsea are going to stay as they are? No chance.
No, he's just being sarcastic. He's just being sarcastic as they covered everything. I know
They have.
yeah.
That team is going to be cleared out and revamped.
No,
And
but
this is
one
the
place
aim.
that I don't think that
Let
Chelsea will-
Bobby drop. Let Bobby drop. Go ahead, Bobby.
No, this is the aim. There's no, it's very unrealistic or whatever to think Chelsea is going to stay as it is. It's not going to happen. The new owners have made it perfectly clear that they have a project to rebuild the team. They're doing it from youth level upwards, and they will make these purchases. It's as simple as that. Players will leave. All these players that guys are saying, oh, he's going. Nobody goes nowhere until they have the replacements and some. They want replacements and squad depth. And I can assure you that list from these guys that have an insight into Chelsea is exactly what they're targeting. It's not a joke.
No, we weren't joking. It's again, he's just being sarcastic. But Rodrigo, in all honest, being honest, do you think they miss out on anything, or maybe not specific enough in some area?
left back. Yes, another left back.
Do we need one more left back player there?
No, we don't. I think Ian Madsen is good. Chilwell is still there. No. For me personally, if you ask me what is the biggest priority for Chelsea as right now, I think it's a right back. A right back. I've been crying for a right back ever since the summer. I think we need to get a right back first thing first, and then all these other signings can come after. We can't go with Aspie and then makeshift right backs. That's just we can't carry on like this because Reece James, let's be honest, is an injury-prone player.
At least from what we've seen.
From what we've seen, he's an injury-prone player. So I think it's the way he plays, his physique. I think he's just he's just how he is, and I don't want him to change the way he plays. So we just have to make sure we get a really good right back So I'll be more excited. I know I like this Enzo link and all these things, but we really do need our right back. I think. Oh well, it looks like they're looking at it according to this report. Chelsea in January. So we need it. We need that position filling ASAP. I'll say first week of January should be linked, or at least being close to completing the deal. Because Aspie I can't deal with Aspie anymore. No way. It's a legend, but come on, he can't be playing for us. Look at the way the Bournemouth game. How the game was literally it was with wrist jams and without wrist jam. If you put any good right back in that team, the Bournemouth game will not end the way it ended. Because Aspie it's not good enough.
He's a concern for the game against Forest.
Yeah, Bobby, you were saying something.
He's a concern for the Nottingham Forest game. He really is, because they'll target him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because what that's going to happen is you're going to have to pull one of the midfielders to cover for him. And then you have in an imbalanced team, because that's what happened. We had to force what's the number 20 again? Zakaria to sort of like
he saved us quite a lot.
To save
a lot of times on the day.
Yeah, but that we lost numbers in attack going forward. So hopefully this is something they're discussing now. And I heard we're linked to the Celtic right back, Croatian right back. He did well in the World Cup.
Juranovic.
Juranovic.
I think it's just rumor at this point. There's no.
Yeah,
we haven't reached out to the club. We haven't reached out to the players' camp. I think probably because we haven't narrowed down from the list we have the player we're going to go for. But right back is really a priority for the club.
I'll be really disappointed if they bring.
But here's the thing. Here's why there's a chance a right back may well not be a priority for the club. Why do I say that? Porter is just like Thomas Tuchel in terms of playing the wingers in the wing back position. And in the last game, we actually did that. I think Raheem Sterling, didn't he play in the wing back position?
No, he played back four. He played but
it was a fluid up. It was again in a hybrid approach. When we attack it, it's three at the back. Right? Okay, yeah. So he didn't play in the wing back position. But also, my point is he does that thing that Thomas Tuchel does, playing wingers in the wing back position. So there's a chance he can tell them, just again, my priority is to fix the midfield issues. We can also go with this approach and manage what we have until again the time comes when we'll again get a player that really fits the profile of that really fits how we want to play. But go ahead, Rodrigo. You were saying something before I cut in. Sorry about that.
No, it's Hakim. Hakim was.
Oh yeah, Hakim. Go ahead.
I said also RLC is back, so maybe he can use RLC at the right back.
Yeah, again, not because deploying him there doesn't mean his responsibility is to defend. It is to attack, and I think he's enjoyed that role very well.
I'm talking about replacing Aspie. So maybe if Aspie isn't good enough, because all of us were no confidence on Aspie. I would
start Loftus-Cheek over Aspie. Why?
Yeah,
because whenever you play Loftus-Cheek in that position, whenever you play Loftus-Cheek in the wing back position, he does it. He executed so well. I like watching him there. Actually, he helps overload the midfield. He helps overload in the attacking area too. And again, he's a better baller than Aspilicueta is, but defensively Aspie is. But if we're really playing in the manner where the wing backs are their main responsibility is to overload the midfield and attack, James does it very well. Loftus-Cheek does it very well. I think I'd play him over Aspie. But go ahead, you were saying something.
Yeah, I think we need to stop this putting people in position like that. We need, if Graham Potter doesn't see this as a priority, I've got issue with him. Well, I've got issues with him for many other things, but this one is clear. It's clear to see that we need a right back. Forget trying to put in Loftus-Cheek there, Aspie there. We need someone.
No, we are talking about the moment.
At the moment, as in the Nottingham Forest game, like the Nottingham Forest game.
Yeah. This is what we are talking about.
Yeah. You look how good the left side is now. Remember that we suffered when Chilwell was out. We had Alonso. Now Not all of us are confident, at least semi-confident. And when we see, what's it, Cucurella or Chilwell, we find on the left side, we need to have the same thing going on the right. We just need we don't even need a world-class right back. We just need a decent right back. Look at, like, for example, the Man United right back, Dalot, for example. He's not world-class. He's just a decent right back that can do a really good job. So a player like that, he doesn't have to be this world-class, amazing right back. Like someone that can do a job for us in that position. Because Aspie can't even do the bare minimum of a right back. He can't do anymore because his legs are gone. He can't offer you overlaps. He can't do anything.
When
any
people
player,
are talking
any,
about Aspie,
yeah, go ahead.
when people are talking about Aspie age, and then I compare him to the Bayern Munich right back, is it Philip Lahm or what is his name?
Really?
The Bayern
What?
No. What is the Bayern Munich their legend, their right back? I've forgotten his name.
Yeah, Lahm. Lahm.
Yeah, Lahm.
The legend,
like
yeah.
At his age, like he knows his potential. He knows that he's not fit, but some of his decisions was a game-changing decisions. But Aspie, the only thing that I'm confident with him is one-on-one. Apart from that, when he goes forward, his crosses are useless. It's overlapping. He goes there and then it's like some of the passes that he gives, I don't see. I'm like, come on. I always.
Here's the thing. One thing that Aspie doesn't have, one thing Aspie doesn't really have is really, again, his ball playing ability is poor. But in terms of crosses into the box, he's actually one of the better crossers on his day. If you go back, for instance, when we had Morata, look how many assists he got for him, even with Oliver Giroud.
No, I'm talking about this moment. I'm talking about.
Yeah, maybe again right now. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Now I understand. Let me catch up with the chat. Any player that Enzo plays like.
Come on, Frank. So this guy's been praising him. He doesn't even know any player that play.
Yeah, I'm not sure. What player does he play like, really?
No, coach, you should ask him because he said he doesn't like him. So he doesn't like him, but he's asking us what plays like him.
So which means he doesn't know why he doesn't like him. Again, by the way, Frank Mompad, I love you. Go ahead, Rodrigo. You were saying something.
I see a bit of Kovacic in him.
In terms of dribble again and beating tight spaces.
Yeah. I see. But he's he has more long passes in it. Maybe a bit of Fabregas, but those stuff. You just have to watch him play. You'll see. Maybe he's just this. He's just Enzo. There's no one like him.
Yeah.
So
again,
if he has a little bit of Fabregas, I said if he has a little bit of Fabregas, please just bring him. Please just bring him.
He has a little bit of Fabregas. Okay. In terms of his vision, maybe there's a chance.
Yeah. In terms of his vision, if he has a little bit of Fabregas, just bring him because this is what we lack. If he has a little bit of Fabregas.
If you look at stats, the long ball passing accuracy, switch of play, those type of stat, they'll give you an idea of what. Last time I was checking them, I think he was one of the top midfielders in Europe in terms of like switch of play, long passes, and accuracy and stuff. Because
let me say this quickly, Rodrigo. His numbers at Benfica in terms of his output in terms of chance. Let me say assists aren't anything special. Do you think that changes at Chelsea?
He's a deeper midfielder. He's used as a.
He operates from deep.
Yeah. He's not gonna have many assists.
So the number will not change, really.
No, so that's what I'm saying. You look at other metrics like his long passes, switch of play, because that's what we don't have. Like Jorginho loves to do short passes. Yeah, once in a while he does the long passes, but sometimes it's too late when people have already made the movement. I think he's one of the players. If he sees a winger or an attacker that makes a run, he would dare to put a long pass over the top, or switch of play, things like that. Because we have mainly not technical players that like to do short passes.
Yeah, again, if you're watching, especially Josie Agbo, if you're watching it, do not use more than 2 emojis. If you do that, the machine will delete your message. And it's not a human being, it's a machine. So don't think it's somebody that's doing that to you. So it want more than 2 emojis, it sees it as spam and will delete it. So again, I've gotten your message. It's showing now. I'll read it in a bit. Any player that Enzo plays like, we talked about that. Again, any right back, we're linked with quite a lot. I think we're still even linked with Denzel Dumfries, but we're not sure there. I think there's at least about 4 players without Denzel Dumfries in it. But I still think we're linked with Denzel Dumfries. We still don't know which player the clubs are serious at getting. The club is Chelsea are serious at getting until boom, we're already negotiating. That's where we're here. Maybe that's how the new owners like to operate. Need to go shopping. Going to have to dodge the rain like COVID dodges defenders. Have a good Friday, everyone. Up the Chelsea. Again, I love you so much, brother. Enjoy the rest of your day, and please, again, stay safe, guys. Again, major point. Okay, let's see. Just here quickly. My screen is freezing a bit. Some Brazilians wasn't good at Chelsea. That's just the truth. Badiashile of Monaco play right back? No, I don't think so. I don't think. Again, he's mobile, but I don't think he's mobile enough to play.
He's left-footed.
And we're talking about a role that you could say a role where you again will also switch to a 3, which means you become a wing back. So I don't think he'd be able to fulfill that role. If anything, we need a right back real quick. We do need a right back. Before being honest, Simon Phillips. Okay, this is an update. Benfica have a verbal agreement for Enzo Fernandez. Fee is around 120 million euros plus performance-related add-ons that takes it to around 130. Thank you so much for that update. Please like and subscribe, people. Again, I appreciate all the likes. 104 likes. Let's get it to at least 110. We knew we were going to beat that. We've done that. The more you like the stream, again, it helps the channel quite a lot. And also do subscribe if you haven't. Frank Malpart says, again, I think Enzo just, again, had to find the characteristics. Common player. Okay. Let's see. Good at long pass. Wouldn't that be little of country? Okay. Won the big title of country. Okay. I know the 127 million man again is Jorginho. This is a bit confusing to me. That's why I try to understand that. Go ahead.
For Argentina, I know we obviously the sample size is small. They play in the midfield 3 of DePaul, Enzo, and McAllister. And DePaul was the one doing the hustling, the dirty job. He was the one constructing the play. Him and then McAllister was linking the midfield and the attack. So if you
DePaul plays for Atletico, right?
Yeah, he played for Atletico. Yeah, he was the more running around, winning the ball, breaking play. But Enzo I think he was used to like the construction, like the conducting an orchestra for Argentina. And then McAllister. At times I was confused between McAllister and Messi from watching from far because they were playing quite similar.
Yeah, I understand that. Wasn't DePaul I thought at one point was twerking for Chelsea, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah. So in that way, what I'm saying is, in that way, I can see why it might be Jorginho replay, but no, I really can't link. I can't put him and Jorginho in the same sentence.
No, they can't. Jorginho is very different. He's a register.
Yeah, Jorginho is very different. Yeah.
Whether we like it. So this one, we move on from this one. Something else. Yeah, I think we have about 4 more stuff to look at, and then we'll call it a day. Oh my God, he goes blank again. Yeah, this is important. This is from Thai Talk. Thai in October. I said, let me go to this one in particular. I think it makes more sense now. It says Ruben Loftus-Cheek may be sold by Chelsea. Potter, Togbali, and their it says Potter, Togbali, and their consultant value his work, but they are astounded by the aims and lack of innovation he delivers. It is anticipated that there will be a minimum of 4 midfield exits between now in the summer. 4 minimum exit, and that's who. Okay, let's say we would count him. Who again? Conor Gallagher. Anybody else?
Jorginho.
Jorginho.
And Kante.
And maybe at that point, maybe he was counting N'Golo Kante, but Kante, they're like, again, if the rumors are correct, he's more likely to remain at the club.
But also, there was some news about Robin renewing his contract with Chelsea.
Yeah,
I don't know
think
if
he will
you saw
stay.
that.
I think he will stay. What do you think, Rodrigo?
Yeah, for me, I
he
think he will stay. I don't think he will go anywhere.
I
I think
think
they'll use him as a squad player.
AC Milan were looking at him. If we get good bid, I think he will go. I think he will want to stay. I think the club will sell him. Oh, actually, by the way, coach, I want to say big up to Ty. I like his his update and the work he's doing.
Yeah,
So
and he's been correct nearly all the time, really.
Yeah, whatever work he's doing, keep up. Yeah, I think he will. I think Loftus-Cheek is so comfortable. That's a bit like what Akim was saying. Lazy. He's so comfortable at Chelsea. He would want to stay. I don't see him pushing himself. So, if the club don't sell him, he's not gonna push for anything. But if a good bid come in, I think he's a goner. I think he'll go.
Yep, and here again, Frank Montpan said Argentina won the World Cup not because Enzo, but referees. Messi 5 penalties in 7 games are stupid. Here's the thing: if I'm not, that's a chance I would say you're calling me stupid, but I know you're not. I know you're not calling me stupid, but so you should find a way again to factor that into your sentence. Let it be part of the construct of the sentence and not write stupid separately because it would sound like you're calling me stupid. Go ahead, Rodrigo. You were saying something.
Look at the game they played against Saudi Arabia. Enzo didn't start in that game. They didn't have structure to the way they were playing. They get caught up offside so many times, and he just didn't look. He didn't look fluid. But once they integrated him in the next game, they never look back. And I know he's a World Cup. It's different when you play for your country. The amount on the line. So yeah, fair enough. But he plays that good for Benfica. So just bear that in mind.
Yeah, he is good enough. Again, if you're watching, if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And I will share the link to Ty Talks, a Twitter account, so you can go follow him. Lots of updates from him. Let me do this. Copy. I hope that doesn't freeze my screen. It happens all the time. I usually don't try to do that when we're streaming. But then again, here's the link to Ty Talks, a Twitter account. Go follow him. Also follow. Yep, my screen is frozen. That's why I hate doing this. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Go follow Ty Talks on Twitter. Again, lots of good updates from him. My screen is frozen now. I hope it can unfreeze this. I'm not sure why I made that mistake, even though I knew it was going to happen. And Fabrizio, again, Bromano. I'm seeing some interesting names. Players that are leaving: Mason Mount, Gallagher. Mason Mount, if he gets to leave, it will be because the club didn't come to an agreement for a new contract for him, not because they really want to let him go. I think they want to keep him. Chick will be a monster in Italy. Maybe, yeah. Even in the Spanish league, I think he would do well. Mason Mount is the reason why Chelsea attack is mute, says Fabrizio Bromano. Wow. Again, a lot of people, I'm not sure where that's coming from. I missed the Chelsea hate. I love when they hate us. Yeah, because Chelsea Blue, that's very correct. Because we're doing really well now. At that time, yeah, they hate us. We're one of them again. Chelsea was then one of the Chelsea Football Club was then one of the most hated clubs in England. Really, yeah, they hated us so much because of our success and all that. Kimso, hello to you. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. Mason Mount and Gallagher are on their way out. At least that's what you think. Why are we rebuilding midfield? It's because the likes of Robin are not good enough. So some of them have to go. Again, we can't keep them all and spend big money on the likes of Enzo. It makes sense, but Ruben traditionally isn't a deep lying midfielder, which is where Thomas Tuchel played him.
Ruben is better than
Sometimes.
Gallagher.
Sorry?
Ruben is for me. If you
Way
ask me,
better.
he's
Way
way better
better.
than Gallagher.
Yeah.
Chukwemeka is way better than Gallagher.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah,
We've
he
seen
is.
what Gallagher can do.
No, I've
No,
seen
but
that.
we-
Chukwuemeka, from the little I've seen and from his highlights, is better technically and a better
Yeah.
dribbler.
Yes.
Maybe again that
Are you-
Nigerian part of me is actually subconsciously I'm being biased. But
He's
again,
English. Coach, forget.
yeah, exactly. So let me just stay away from
I've
that
watched
argument.
I've watched Gallagher from Crystal Palace and in League One, and he never disappointed. He always step up. But
Here's the thing about
Chukwuemeka, I
Gallagher,
don't
he's
think
hardworking. He has that
Yeah, he's hardworking,
industry.
and he's also and he also good. Like he's also good on the ball. He also he can strike from the his striking skills is also good. So like as a midfielder, I think if you have this in your arsenal, it also helps a lot. For me, Ruben is better than Gallagher, but Chukwuemeka, I've not seen enough of him to compare him with Gallagher. But even Ruben,
So
at
you
this
shouldn't.
moment,
So
I'll
you
choose
shouldn't be
Gallagher than
joining the argument on who's better than the other. It's simple. Really.
him.
What do you think, Hakim? Should you? No, you shouldn't. Before being honest here, just quickly, we have a few, again, 3-4 topics to talk about, and we're around those. Sell Mount. Let's see what you have here. If João Felix comes in, Mason Mount will leave. Let's see what happens. Mason Mount is signing a new contract at Coachella. So when again, and this rumors are coming in fake. To be honest, I'm gonna talk next week. Okay, Coach. Okay, yeah, I see you next week. Thank you. We already have new young midfielders brought in. If we keep the likes of Robin, how do these guys get into the squad? Yeah, it doesn't make any sort of sense. We're lining them up, and then we'll start having problems again of having quite a lot of players not knowing what to do with a lot of them. I think it's dangerous, really. So again, we have to make way to accommodate the young players, or at least accommodate the new signings. So it makes sense. That's a delicious comment there from Liam Lane. This is again, always remember, brother, we're two-time Champions League winning team. They must hate us. Again, they still. Again, I would say the hate isn't that serious right now because they're not fearing us. They don't think we'll be able to achieve anything given our squad. So yeah, we move on from that one. Please, with nonsense, I'll talk me. Okay, I like the ruthless shown by the owners. Everyone should go if they don't deliver. It's as simple as that. RLC needs to go. Okay, everybody's saying who they want to go. Gallagher needs to go out on loan. Okay.
Not gonna benefit him. What loan? You have to sell him. A loan is to
just sell him.
Yeah.
I think he's 22 years or 21 years. There's no need for any loan anymore. He should go. Like they should just cash out. That's all.
Yeah, and I think we'll get a sizable fee from him now, since that Crystal Palace are serious about him and they want him.
Man City have sold Jesus and Shevchenko. And yeah, they've sold all of these players and they've sold Raheem Sterling. Why do we have to let some players hang around? We should just let them go and just, start a new era. That is all.
The truth is, again, our fan base, we're always sentimental because we know these players. So we're somewhat have some measure of bond with them. We don't want them to go. We want them to be part of the team. If you lose some people, the whole 11 will be all again academy players. Mountain Gallagher are two sons of Lampard. We must keep again. See my name. Yeah, again, RIP to the real goat, Pelé. May he so rest in peace. Never seen anybody as popular as he is, and at the same time as humble as he is. What an individual he was. They hate us, and I like it. But they don't hate us that much now because they don't fear us. They hate us when they fear us. How is Connie and Casade going to get into the side? And we paid quite a lot of money from them. Get into the side. Someone has to go. Stop being sentimental about players like Ruben. Yeah, good argument there. Someone has to make way for the new talents to be accommodated. Sell the whole midfield. Yeah, sell the whole squad if you want to. Dan, I hope you're doing well. Coach, again, how is my friend? I heard again you wasn't well, and good to see you well and back. And I hope you had a good Xmas with family and a happy New Year. Yes, again, I recovered well enough to enjoy my Christmas. So yeah, and thank you so much for asking, Dan. I hope you're well too. Thank you and I hope you had a good Christmas too. Todd Barley done rate Mason Mount because again he's not technical. That's why he wants João Felix. Okay, is that what you think, Coach?
Think Todd
Yeah.
Bolly cares about that?
Sorry?
The guy want to play 4-4-3. Do you think he not cares about technical?
Yeah, he knows the game quite well. Yeah, 4-4-3. Coach, I am just happy. It's been a while since we were in a race to get a good quality players. I think, yeah, I'm happy too. We're looking at some fine players, some of the best in the world football right now. Yeah, that makes sense. Chelsea Blue, nice to see you, brother. Saying hi to Liam Lane. Just quickly, Chelsea Dan. Okay, I would do. Let me share the link to Chelsea Perspective Twitter account. So if you're not following us, please go and follow us. Give us a follow. I really appreciate that. I hope my screen don't freeze again. So let's look at the updates we have here. We've looked at this one, and this one is still about Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I think we've looked at that one too. And this is from my friend CFC Fahim. Let me retweet this for him. So Fahim is saying nearly the same thing. Again, Chelsea will listen to offers for Jorginho and Robin. Somebody say, no, it's Ruben, please. Ruben Loftus-Cheek in January. Don't confuse me by telling me it's pronounced like Robin. But that's, by the way, we'll move on from that one. João Felix is better than Mason Mount. I am not going to go into that argument. So the final stuff we have lined up to talk about here, we'll talk about it. We'll call it a day. So if you have any question in the chat, put it and we will try to address it. We're looking at all these players, but are we going to make top four? Yeah, that's a good argument.
American
go ahead,
dog,
Rodrigo.
American dog. Honest, if your dog eat grass. maybe you have a cow.
I wasn't paying attention. I just pulled out. I just added that to the screen. But stop, Rodrigo, please.
Maybe you have a dog. Maybe it's a cow.
Oh my goodness! I was opening the windows to open what we want to talk. This is an update from Liam Lane. Says again, we are at the final stage of the transfer of Enzo Fernandez to Chelsea. I just had this confirmed by my source. Okay, via Simon Phillips. Final stages again. One thing I'm going to advise you guys again, something I've always advised our followers here, or members of the Chelsea Perspective community. Don't believe anything until you see the player holding the shirt and you get an official announcement from the club. That's when you know it's done. Because I'm having PTSD from the summer transfer window.
You think so? I told you not to Photoshop the players in the Chelsea top.
I remember that whenever I do that, we end up not signing the player. Maybe because Enzo is hidden behind Badiashile. Maybe again, I'm not going to jinx it. What do you think?
No, they all end up going to Barcelona.
Yeah, again, they all end up going to. And there was a time a rumor popped up saying Barcelona were interested in signing Badiashile. Again, if you're watching, here's the link to Chelsea Perspective. Again, I think this should be the correct one. Twitter account. Why is it saying home there? It should say at Chelsea Perspective. But if you're not following us on Twitter, please go check it out and follow us. Yes, Bobby, we're going to say something.
Yeah, it seems really clear to me that between this window and the summer transfer window, I think a goalkeeper will go. I think at least one defender will go. I think about 3 in the midfield will go, and 2 in the attack will go. This will be replenished. I think we're already getting 1 defender in. I think we'll get another defender. Might be the return of Colwill. I don't know. Definitely a right back. Definitely 2 midfielders. But we also have some coming through the youngsters that we bought, and 1 attacker. Some of these youngsters will, for example, Casa de Cesare has a program. The first year was to learn the language, training around the first team, playing the development squad. The second year, he's going to start to maybe have the odd bench appearance. It's only in the third year that we'll see whether he can be taken seriously. Omari Hutchinson, um, more or less the same thing. This year, a few bench appearances. Next season, especially after the preseason, it'll be seen whether he can be taken seriously. Chukwemeka, the same thing. That's another midfielder that will be pushing into the first team.
We paid
The target,
17 million for him, right?
yeah, he's going to be pushing for first team place. The target of the revamp is a freshness and depth, and we're on target to do that. People like Enzo Fernandez, if you can get them, you get them. There's no discussion there because he's such a talent. I don't think he was as groundbreaking in the World Cup as people like to say he is, but ultimately he is that midfielder that Chelsea need amongst others because of the creativity and his sense of play. So definitely that's what's going to happen. What saddens me is I can see that perhaps in the summer we will part ways with people like Gallagher, Ruben, because they're not showing themselves to be good enough. I keep praying for Ruben, but I think his injuries have just, they've taken a toll on him.
They haven't helped. Bobby, while you're still there, before I lose you again, I think we're out of structured topic here. We're picking again topic here and there to talk about because we have a few minutes to discuss, and the discussion is flowing. Do you know again? Do you know again any update from you regarding the Edouard Mendy situation? Because he wasn't injured, he was fit. He returned from the World Cup early, trained with the team, and he wasn't even on the bench against Bournemouth. Did you hear anything?
I haven't heard anything as such, but I don't think any of the coaching staff truly fancy him, and he hasn't done himself any favors. With Gaga Slonina, Bertinelli is proving to be more reliable than he is.
Hmm.
I can see Mendy moving on. If Gaga proves himself, then he will step up. But unfortunately, I can see Mendy moving on for sure in the summer.
Yeah, and I think that's what he needs to do. Rodrigo, do you suspect anything?
Yeah, it was so surprising when he didn't even make the bench, and I don't think he's a Graham Potter type of player. He can't play with his feet. Unfortunately, he has to go, and I'm actually surprised because I don't think he will get the same salary that we paying him anywhere,
Hmm.
unless he goes to another top English club. But if you look at the top English clubs now, they all have keepers, and the keepers are way better than him. So if you go abroad, he's not gonna get more. He's not gonna get basically his salary at Chelsea is really high for some teams abroad to handle. So I don't know what he's thinking. I think that one season, 1.5 season, well, actually one and a half season, I give him that got to him, and he probably thought he was better than what he was actually, where his talent was actually at. So yeah, like I agree with what Bobby said. I think we in the summer we will need a goalkeeper. I know Kep is playing well now. Mendy has played well in the past, but we want to be serious. Want to challenge Man City. We can't afford to just have players that are good enough. We need to have really good players. Otherwise, listen, Newcastle. If Newcastle finish in the top four this season, we're in
Hmm.
trouble because they have the money, they have good enough like revenue stream that they can afford to spend
And their project is ahead of time.
and the project ahead of us. and they can easily sell because right now it's hard for them to sell the project to some of the top class players because of they don't have maybe a Champions League. They haven't proved anything. So if they can do that, finish in the Champions League, they have the money. They can offer the big salaries, same as us. So that's what we need to be serious. Yeah. Right now goalkeeper maybe it's not a priority for January. Maybe in the summer we might have to look at that again and say, right, we need.
If Mendy, if the reason Mendy wasn't even on the bench was that again he was looking to leave and he's already talking to clubs and we don't know.
Yeah.
I think we should be looking for goalkeepers,
a
goalkeeper because
first,
Slonina is that again.
Yeah.
As much as he's a good talent and young, we're not sure how good he is with his feet.
No.
Even Bettinelli, we're not sure. But go ahead with what you were saying.
First, we shouldn't look at like backup for Kepa. We should look at first team goalkeeper, like one that comes in and takes over. Because I like Kepa, but I still have PTSD from a few years ago, so I'm still not entirely sold on him yet.
Are you sure you're gonna go to heaven? Just leave him alone. Forgive and move on with your life, man.
We need a serious keeper. We need a serious keeper. I don't know about the Wolves. I like to look at the Wolves keeper, Jose Sa. I like the look of him. I like the look of AC Milan keeper. Yeah, I don't know if we can get them, but we need a serious one.
Yeah, even what's the former Real Madrid goalkeeper? He'd be available, but probably again his salary will be something. His salary will be something out of this world. If we're being honest, Kimso said we're looking at all these players, but we're gonna make top four. Let's see what happens. There's no guarantee. Come on, guys, we have to get caught up in the excitement. That's part of the fun. That's the truth. We have to enjoy it. It's still a season, and I truly understand. And Kimso says Enzo and that guy. If you think so, again, I hope he does well for us since we're already planning on signing him. Bobby will have to be our transfer guru. No sentiment. You're good enough or you're not. Yeah, that's the truth. Again, I like that. I like that comment there. It's either you're good enough or you're not. I think we have one more thing to deal with, and we'll call it a day. Let me see. Is it that one? Not that one there. Possibly this one here. Again, a Porter from CFC Delhi. Let's see there. Porter again it's been a real tough period. As challenging as it has been in my time as a coach, but we are at Chelsea and people don't want to hear those reasons, excuses. You've got to get on with it, and we've got to try our best to find the answers. Yeah, or you're losing your job. I think it's beginning to realize the expectation is different here. It's either you deliver or you get the sack. What do you make of that comment?
He's speaking my language now. He's speaking, understand? Yeah, my guy's sitting on the hot seat. So listen, all I wish him the best. I want him to do. At the end of the day, I have to put my agenda aside and I have to say, at the end of the day, I wish him the best. Because if he succeeds, it makes me happy as a fan. So So he just knows this Chelsea. There's pressure, mate. So you got to deliver. So hopefully he does. You need to learn quickly.
Yeah, the expectation is very, very different here. You need to learn quickly. You need to adapt quickly. You need to start winning games. I think we've read that update on the screen there. And this one, anything else here? No more again. PR Porter, Joseph Porter time. Confirmed in tribute to Premier League. Anything else? Any update there? Chelsea and Benfica are already negotiating the forms. I think these are things we've talked about. Rodrigo, I don't know if you have anything else to say, or Hakim, if you have anything else to say. If not, we should call it a day. We've streamed for 3 hours and 22 minutes, and yeah, that's a long time. And it's been enjoyable. Good discussion, good debate. You have anything else to say, Rodrigo?
Please give me a right back. That's my
okay.
last word. Please
bring
me a right
you
back.
Need a right back.
Yes, Mr. Bowley, bring me a right back. We can't go with Aspie. Oh my God, I can't do with Aspie. Who's the academy right back? Maybe he can play for us.
Who's that? I think those in the chat have been mentioning a particular name, and I don't know the player that been mentioned.
I don't know. Maybe because is he? Would it be? Is he worse than Aspie? Come on. Surely there's someone somewhere that can do a better job than what Aspie's doing at the moment.
But you know
If
why
Aspie has
Aspe
to
is in,
play,
is in the team, not really because of his playing ability. So
yeah.
maybe, yeah, we should bring
uh,
in the atomic, create space
For
and
me,
bring in the academy kid. But go ahead.
if Aspie has to play, it has to be when we play back three and he's a right side centre back. That's it. He can't play any other position
Hmm.
in the back three.
Yeah.
Aspi is like a playing. Aspi is like a playing 10 against 11.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are not nice. But that's okay. Uh, let's call it a day, guys. It's been a brilliant show and very enjoyable. We have again
Big up,
consistently. We
coach.
have another show tomorrow. Battery is gone, coach. Okay, brother. I understand it was a long one, really. There's one there about Mendy. How leads a Chelsea youngster set to shine in search of a new Mason Mount? I don't want him to be like Mason Mount. I think he can be better. There's one again. There's one there about Mendy. I'm not sure what Leandrin, my brother there, is trying to say. This one here. Anything else? Chelsea are in conversation with Jorginho over a new contract. Oh, Rodrigo is right. So there's a chance he actually stays. N'Golo Kante loves Chelsea and wants to stay. Again, these are just random updates. Anything else? But that's that. Again, with that, we've come to the end of the show. Again, guys, let me see. Say hello to bye to people in the chat. Limitless. Nice to see you, brother. Thanks so much. Again, right back coming up. Yeah, I hope so. Enjoyable. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. I enjoyed it too. Chelsea, again, love Thiago Silva. I expect them to have new conversation. Yeah, I think his leadership is something out of this world. And this is a ranking. Yeah, that was the name we were thinking about. So thank you for bringing that up, Liam Lane. Thank you so much, brother. I don't know how else to thank you so much. Can you send me so much updates? Even as the show starts, we don't miss anything. Everything keeps coming in from you like this. I can't thank you enough, brother. And I know one day we'll get to meet, and I'll find some way to show you how much I appreciate the love again that you've shown this again the Chelsea Perspective Committee. So thank you to you. Thank you, Limitless. Thank you, Chelsea Blue. So much love. I appreciate that. Thank you, Kimso. I appreciate you. Am I missing anybody else here? Chelsea Dan, Chelsea Blue. Thanks to Bobby. Thanks to Rodrigo, who was on the panel. Thank you also to Hakeem, who was also on the panel. If I missed your name, and Frank Mompa, thank you so much. And Fabrizio Bromano, thank you so much. Again, Horizon Hereditor, I like the ruthless again. Sorry, I didn't say your name before, but nice to see you. And Abo, my Niger brother who is here, I appreciate you all. If I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. And again, every time I get to the end of the show, my screen will start freezing, and I don't know why. But again, thank you so much, guys. See you guys tomorrow for another Blue Morning Show. Thanks so much. God bless us all, and bye.